Gertrude. And when the sky falls, and we've had a day down in Margate and all that palaver, although being honest, I'd rather go to Costa Brava. This week, we play Tottenham Hotspur. It's going to be a tough game. They're a good side with a good manager. But, although there's a bit of negativity floating around, we're on a 4-game unbeaten run, having scored 11 goals and conceded 1. So I predict a scoreline this weekend of the famous Manchester United 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Come on, United. One love, MUFC.
We're beating the Spurs 2-0.
Glenn F.A., South of France, your correspondent from the south of France. I found me hat from the 70s when I was a kid. Anyway, all that aside, it's only Spurs. I think we're going to do it 4-2. I reckon Højlund will start. I know my thing's shaking all over the place, bloody. I've got a sore arm. But anyway, you don't know about that. 4-2. Been chainsawing. Ciao.
Yo, what's up, man? I think we should win today. Like usual, I don't predict any other result really than a win. But I think it'll be 1-0. I reckon Højlund will score. If not, Manu. Yeah, we need to start putting chances away. And we defended all right. We're not conceding so many. So, clean sheet at home. And at least score a goal and get the 3 points. Nice one.
We're here at the site of the famous 2-1 victory in the FA Cup last year. This is our predictions for the Tottenham game. I think it's going to be a good game. I can see us scoring goals, in spite of the fact we haven't scored many recently. I'm going to go for a 4-1 victory, hoping that Rashford and Garnacho and maybe Højlund as well get to start and they can exploit that high line of Tottenham. What's your thoughts, Ern?
I think maybe like 2-0 and Rashford and Garnacho.
Rashford and Garnacho to score, yeah. Ernie's wearing his Parker jacket in honour of Jay. Let's hope for the best. Come on, boys.
Hello and welcome to Stretford. Paddock. It is the watch-along Manchester United versus Tottenham. A massive game today for Manchester United. A chance to right some wrongs, to get a level footing, to push on all these cliches. Basically, United need a win. Otherwise, it's going to get very dark very quickly in this studio. I'm joined by Ronaldo Brown. How are you?
I think we're going to win.
Sipping away at some sort of concoction there. It's got all the different colours of the rainbow as long as you like beige, white and pink. What is it?
It's a salted caramel frappe with cream.
Ooh.
With little flakes on top of it with a sprinkle of coffee inside.
Unbelievable. I mean, if that doesn't set you up for the day, I don't know what does. I think that's about 8 of your 5 a day, that, isn't it?
I literally described it like I was telling what I made in MasterChef.
It was like,
if you watched MasterChef,
yeah, it was. That was brilliant, actually.
Yeah.
Joe McGrath's here as well. With
Thank
his
you.
T-shirt, the same colour as Ronaldo's coffee.
Yes,
which is good.
Unfortunately, I've got a little stain here right in the middle, so I'm going to try and keep this microphone perfectly there so you do not see the fact I spilled some sort of, I don't know, rice. I've only had rice for tea today.
Just rice by itself?
Nah, it was chicken with it as well, but it was probably the rice that's caused the stain.
How are you?
Good, I'm good.
How are we feeling today, building up to this big
I think it's
big
a huge 7 days, isn't it?
Yeah.
From now, starting right now, this Sunday.
Could have just said a week.
Could have said week. A week.
Well, 7 days makes it
How
feel
many
like,
hours? How many hours is that for 7 days?
7 times 24, you're looking at 104.
Huge, just a massive amount. Because obviously we got this
148.
Porto and then Villa.
More
So if we can kick on and have a win against Spurs, because it's only Spurs and happy days.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, these next 7 days, Villa at the end of it as well.
Crucial.
Let's just get straight into the team news and we can build everything out from there. Onana, it is the back four at the minute. United's first choice back four. Mazraoui, De Ligt, Martinez and Dalot. Mazraoui and Dalot playing every week, which is, I feel like we're cruising for a bruise
2-2.
with that. 2-2 in the Ipswich Villa game. Hopefully McKenna can get some points on the board and take a few off Ipswich as well. That'd be good. Then a midfield three. First Premier League start for Manuel Ugarte, Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandez as well in the midfield, as they tend to be. And then a slight change up top. Rashford starts his first Premier League game in 2 weeks. Garnacho keeps his place. Xerxes up front. Højlund and Ahmad both on the bench. Ronaldo, just in overall terms, firstly, before we get into some of the specifics on this team, why do you hate Ugarte? I mean, what do you make of that team?
And why do you hate Ugarte?
And why do you hate Ugarte?
I hate Ugarte as well.
Talk to me about his team.
I'd say the team is pretty much as strong as you can get as we can put it. If I'm being honest,
Maybe
I don't think
Luke Shaw aside.
I think Luke Shaw aside, it's probably Garnacho in for Ahmad's an interesting one. Obviously, he's gone for a pacier wing pairing on the side of Xerxes, which is probably to counter the high line of Tottenham. Tottenham are quite transitional.
Yeah.
Probably a game that suits us a little bit more. So I can see why he's gone for Garnacho, but Garnacho up against Udogie is a very tough matchup for him, though.
Yeah, he's a good player, Udogie, and he's kind of the kryptonite of a Garnacho style, isn't he? He's just as fast as you, and he's maybe a little bit stronger than you. It's a tough one to go up against, isn't it, if you're Garnacho?
He's a physical. He's like 6'1", quick and
he's
strong.
A big guy.
So when he's on it, and it could be quite difficult for Garnacho. But Garnacho, you know what he's like. He's got that kind of relentlessness, and one way that he could probably catch Udogie out is being a little bit clever with his movements in behind, because I think Garnacho's gotten better and better at that.
Yeah.
Do we think that Ten Hag is going to constantly just switch the top three, or do we think he's just trialling out different versions of the top three until he's happy?
I think it will be a mixture of both. I do expect at some point to have the three, that when you play City, when you play Arsenal, when you play Villa, when you play Tottenham, that it's the one that he tends to rely on the most. But I think outside of that, there'll be rotations dependent, because also it's not just dependent on how well they're doing, it's dependent on who else is fit. So like if you have a midfield like this, I'm excited to see this, because you've seen Bruno and Xerxes, who are good at, I mean, Bruno's been poor, and we'll get to that, but on his day, or not even on his day, most of the time when it's usually good, which he is, his creativity and his balls in behind are very good. Then we see Xerxes with that kind of link-up and build-up play. Ahmad has also been doing that on that side, but maybe there we've lacked a little bit of goal threat on that side because of Ahmad isn't quite as direct as Garnacho and Rashford. I'm quite keen to see the directness of Rashford and Garnacho and the link-up of Bruno and Xerxes kind of and how that all works together, because I don't think we've seen this front sort of four yet, have we? With Fernandez, Garnacho and Rashford with Xerxes. I don't think we've seen that. So I'm excited to see that.
Have we seen that midfield three yet?
No, Ugarte hasn't started in the Premier League, so I don't think we have. I mean, we certainly haven't in the Premier League. I don't know if we've seen it for sort of minutes here or there, but we haven't seen it in the Premier League. Just on Ugarte, big game for him. We'll get into Tottenham's team in a second, but genuinely, Ronaldo, I know obviously you haven't been overly critical of Ugarte, but you have expressed a couple of early concerns.
Someone's calling you there, Joe.
Yeah, someone's calling me there.
Who is it? Should we see who it is?
It's Lizzie, and we can't see who it is. It's a FaceTime.
Oh.
Who knows what could be on the other end of that
God
FaceTime.
knows what your dog is currently doing.
Yeah, it's definitely the dog doing something mad. We've not seen Ugarte. She does. We've not seen Ugarte start in the Premier League yet. You have expressed a couple of concerns. What are those concerns, and how do you think it's going to look today?
The only concern I had was off the first couple of games, was him looking a little bit rash in terms of his defending, and a little bit almost like too keen, which sometimes can be a bit of a negative when you're a defensive midfielder, especially when you're in there on your own. You need to kind of combine being aggressive and being tenacious, whilst also being clever with like where you position yourselves and not leaving areas. But it wasn't like a major concern, because I was someone that always thought Ugarte has a lot of attributes that are gonna be very useful for United, especially in that midfield area, because it's somewhere that lacks legs, and that's something that he does have. But it's just about more the system more than anything else. My criticism mostly isn't really about Ugarte himself as a player. It's about how well he fits to what is almost required of that single pivot under Erik Ten Hag. And I'm not going to lie to you, I've come to the conclusion that I think that CDM position in Ten Hag's system is a bit of a thankless task anyway. So it's not something that's just basically just criticism on him alone. It's probably like a position that will be difficult for him. But if he's 23 and he's got time to develop, and there's no better game to kind of get my concerns to disappear than today anyway, against a side that we're going to be challenging top four with.
Do you think that it's a position that is almost by its definition and by the way that Ten Hag sets up, one that is going to be exposed probably the most of anywhere in the team.
Yes.
Do you think you have to that almost has to be our best player playing there?
Yes.
And do
it's literally, I'd say to play there. Obviously, Casemiro struggled there. Even Mainu struggled there when he's played there. Ugarte will probably have difficulties as well playing in there. It's just a position in the system that's very difficult to play and actually demands quite a lot of you. But
would you say that for other sort of possession teams? Because it does feel as though like someone like Rodri, for instance,
it's become
has a disproportionately high effect on the game. Obviously,
it's become a very important position. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But there's ways you can kind of build around it. I think Ten Hag's already tried to address it a little bit whilst having Delo invert.
Yeah.
Offer a little bit more support, in terms of like transitioning when we lose the ball defensively, but also support in terms of building out in that area.
Yeah.
So obviously Ten Hag's made an adjustment there because it is somewhere that's looked very, very difficult. It's almost been a bit of a poison chalice for United anyway, that position for probably since Michael Carrick.
Yeah. FPL Mickle in the comments says, look at City with no Rodri, it looks so weak against Newcastle without him. They did.
Yeah.
And obviously Newcastle at St James's Park is a very difficult team to play against anyway. And actually I will say, I texted Ethan this yesterday, that was the best Newcastle played all season yesterday. They actually looked really good. There's Ipswich almost get a third there. But Newcastle really good.
Yeah.
But I do think that when City with Gundogan and Kovacic, you're losing so much by not having Rodri in there. Joe, do you think that midfield for United, obviously, I want to get, actually, before that, sorry, because I keep saying let's get to Spurs team, so I'm just going to go through Spurs' team, so we've all got the sort of the full lay of the land here.
Screwed on.
Vicario, Podro, fucking hell, I've got the second name wrong. Pedro Porro, not Podro. Podro's not a word. Vicario, Pedro Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, Udogi, which is basically their first choice back five. Then there's a couple of changes in the middle. Maddison, Bentancur, Kulusevski, Johnson, Solanke, Werner. No Heung-min Son. Reports of a hamstring injury for him, so he's not even in the squad at all today, which is obviously massive.
That's big.
Huge for us, that.
Solanke's in there. He's sort of getting in amongst the goals a little bit. Johnson almost seems to be on the kind of redemption tour, doesn't he? He hit peak criticism and has, I think, scored in every game since then, which tends to happen with footballers.
The crowd every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Celebrations.
So there's the Tottenham side. To be fair, other than Son, it's pretty much their first choice team.
Yeah.
So
but you'd also look at United's team
squad
and think, this is pretty much a strengthened team for United like this.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see one or two changes maybe, and then that's probably Ten Hag's first starting 11. Maybe Højlund getting more into the game. But so we're going, two teams that have had a mediocre start to the Premier League are going against each other with you'd say a 90% first 11 that both managers would be happy with. So it's a decent battle. We can't take anything away from both teams. I'm a little bit nervous with the two games that we just previously had. Both finishing in a draw, especially 20 on the week didn't fill me with overconfidence that we're going to be able to go out there and beat Spurs. But I hope that this little bit of added pressure on Ten Hag's shoulders means that he can often get a victory out of his squad, and we've seen that a lot. Sometimes the most difficult games in front of him, he somehow gears everyone up to go and win. FA Cup final,
FA Cup quarter.
I remember one of the performances last year. It was a very dull game, but when we went to United and when we went to Anfield, last season, remember we literally had every player possibly out, and we got a 0-0 draw. I know it's not the base game, but he got his team hyped up for a battle at Anfield, and he got a point. So something will happen today. But I spoke to a friend called Gaz, and he said nothing would surprise him about today's game. If Spurs beat us 6-0, if we win 6-0, if it's a boring 0-0 draw, literally nothing would surprise him with today's game.
There's no result that I would go, I cannot believe that's happened. We could win 4-0 and I'd go, what an incredible result, that's amazing. It's not like us, but it could happen against Tottenham. I feel and vice versa. If they get 3 passes in the first 2 minutes, you go, that's what they can do this to teams at times. Like, it is one of those games where literally anything can happen. I agree with that.
I think it's going to be high scoring.
Really, for both teams.
It just has that vibe of it.
United don't concede a lot.
Because Tottenham aren't obviously that weak, and they only have the only main starter that they have missing is Heung-min Son, as you said. I think they've got Richarlison and Odegaard not available, but Richarlison's awful in my opinion.
Oh.
And I can say that because he's not playing. Because when we say that about players,
are you just saying that because he used to play for Everton?
Yeah, that's also one issue. But
hate Everton. You do, not me.
But yeah,
you hate Everton. Yeah,
I think there's going to be a lot of chances.
I just said not me, didn't I? Sorry.
There's going to be a lot of chances today. But me, out of all the big teams that we play, playing Spurs at home, I'm always the most confident.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a game where I think United are more than capable of winning, like more comfortably than you think.
Yeah.
I think, especially the way that Tottenham play and the chances that they give you, I think they're so well suited. You know, styles make fights, and I think Tottenham are quite well suited to us.
I want to just change the subject a little bit because we've got a elite journalist in the house, Joe McGrath.
Yeah.
Who this
journalist.
week, obviously, we've seen the news about Old Trafford and the kind of, I wouldn't say U-turn because they never said they would keep Old Trafford, but there were reports that they might keep the current Old Trafford after building the new one, kind of rejig that and make it an academy stadium. Since then, there have been reports basically that they won't be doing that and they would have to knock down the current Old Trafford in order to rebuild that area as a whole.
Well, this is where I come
as
into
part of the multi-billion investment that would come into that. You've been speaking to the Mayor of Manchester,
Andy Burnham, and there's like a phone-in with him on the radio between 10 and 11 every Thursday. So I purposely and quite selfishly held back 20 minutes to talk about Old Trafford with him.
Brilliant.
And there's been a lot of talk about government money and how the government will get involved with Manchester United's Old Trafford, but that isn't the case when it comes to actually building the stadium itself. The stadium itself will be funded by Manchester United. The one thing that United are looking at doing, which will in fact mean that Old Trafford as it stands will be able to stay in place, is if the government can look at moving the freight train terminal that currently sits around Trafford Parkway to Liverpool. That terminal there would be the site Man United would build their new stadium on. However, it is up to the government to shift that to Merseyside. So if you ever get in a train from, so all the ports and stuff from Southampton, all the freights go up past Piccadilly. If you're ever at Piccadilly Station, platform 13, and you see those big freight trains that go past, and they take
for like 20 minutes. Yeah.
They're all going to the destination of this Trafford Park freight train. They all get picked off, and that is where the terminal hub is. That would be the desired place for Man United to build the new Old Trafford. Currently, that's kind of out their hands. However, Andy Burnham did say there is quite good talks at the minute with the private company that own this terminal to then sell it. But the government needs to get involved for that. There's a little bit of no one really wants responsibility for that, as it would be quite a bit of a cost.
Right.
United are kind of saying, look, we're going to spend money on building up this area. Can you do us a favour first?
You sort us out with
Can you
moving
get
the
rid of
terminal.
this?
Right, okay.
I think if it comes down to it, Man United probably would pay to get rid of that.
Right.
But at the minute, it's a back and forth debate.
Right.
So what Andy Burnham's saying is, if that freight train does move, it's positives. Obviously, people will be annoyed that it's no longer in Trafford Park.
Because presumably there's a lot of people living in around that area who
currently
work there.
Yeah, they'd have to go down the Mersey Way. But Andy Burnham's saying, that whole entire line for Manchester would become then clearer, so more passenger trains would be able to go down there easier and without delays. If you're ever stuck on that corridor between Piccadilly, Oxford Road, Salford Crescent, that they're all sort of linked with the terminal trains. So if that clears up, it'd be better for passengers in Manchester. It'd be better for Merseyside because they'd get a better freight train terminal, and then Manchester United would have their proposed new stadium.
So this whole thing of like United getting the government to pay for their stadium, we're going to pay for the bricks and mortar to build Old Trafford 2 for the sake of whatever. But the infrastructure in and around that is what we're trying to encourage the government to pay for.
Because Man United would say, why should we pay for them to go to Merseyside? The government should, because it'll create jobs, it'll be easier for passengers to get around Manchester, blah, blah, blah. The one thing we do know is December is going to be when United announce what they're actually going to do. So between now and then, it is this sort of conversation, Andy Burnham, Gary Neville, Sebastian Coe, people like that, we're all at...
What's the architect's name as well?
He's called Norman Foster. Well, he's a local lad. He grew up in Reddish.
But he's like a legendary architect.
He's a legendary architect. He did Wembley. If you go on their Foster and Partners website, he's done all sorts. Wembley Stadium was the big stadium. He did one in Qatar. He was actually born in Reddish, grew up in Levenshulme, went to Burnage High School. He's a bit of a local lad. I don't know if he's so hands-on at the minute. But they were all at the Labour Party conference, and conversations were happening regarding the generation. But according to Andy Burnham, if this goes ahead, it would be the biggest sort of transformation of any area of Greater Manchester ever.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean,
ever.
that's
and he's
nice, 'cause
excited.
That's a little nod towards the what City have done over at their
Ever. He said
stadium.
it's nothing. And he said obviously we'd be the biggest footballing city in the world.
It's interesting as well, because obviously I know City have done a lot of work around that area near Eastlands and where their stadium is now, and there was a lot of sort of non kind of housing and stuff there. It was like commercial and stuff, but there was a lot of housing as well.
Yeah.
The area around Old Trafford mostly isn't housing. I mean, I know there is houses over to sort of the Trafford side as you get towards Trafford Park. That way there is. But it is a lot. It's mostly factories, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's factories and warehouses and kind of open spaces and kind of industrial stuff, commercial stuff, rather than kicking people out of the house to knock them down and build new stuff. I'm sure, hopefully, there will be as little of that as possible. Yeah. But it is a good space. You're kind of swapping business for commerce, which I think will be a good thing and less kind of disruptive to the local area than some of the stuff that City have done.
I think we'd like it as well, because then Man United wouldn't have to knock down Old Trafford, because logistically it would be a nightmare for United if they had to lose their home for 2 years whilst the new one was built, or 3 years. Like where would Manchester United play football?
That's a good point.
They wouldn't. Where would you go? Any local stadium is.
I was thinking about this. I think it would have to be Bolton.
Yeah, but they're only 30,000.
I know, but
I spoke to Andy Burnham and said keep Goodison up for a bit and we'd go there. That's 45,000
miles away, isn't it? 35 miles away.
Bolton's a bit of a. Only 30,000 people at Bolton.
I know, but
Wigan, Rochdale.
Real Madrid played at their academy stadium, which I think was like 25,000.
Yeah,
they played there for like 18 months, didn't they?
So it'd be interesting. So that's the joy. The key would be if the government are able to work out a deal to move the freight train terminal to Merseyside. It's better for everyone there. Yeah. And then United build on that land. Old Trafford remains.
That'd be great.
See what happens there.
It's just, it's very exciting. It doesn't quite make sense to me what you would do with Old Trafford, because I've spoken about this before, but I don't understand the process by which you can turn a 75,000 seater stadium into a 30,000 seater. I don't get what that looks like.
I'm sure architects will be working now renearly to try and
but
create
how
into
can that
event
cost
space.
less? How can that cost less than like 500-600 million to do that? If it would cost nearly $1 billion to renovate Old Trafford to put an extra 20,000 seats in, it must cost, I don't know, half of that to take 20,000 seats out and repurpose it. It feels to me like you're going to get an Old Trafford that it costs another £500 million just to make it smaller. I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to see. But someone said Jed's dead baby says remove upper tiers. But again, let's say you did that. That's got to cost tens or hundreds of millions. Which do they really want to spend that on?
But then you don't know what they do with that space. You know, I've always said that United have always been rather jealous of the hotel football that's over from the side of them. If they get any hint that they could turn part of Old Trafford into some form of a luxury hotel where millionaires who come and get private jets in from all around the world come to watch United, and you can actually stay where United made history.
That would be
Cool.
cool.
They could turn suites and they could turn all sorts into this incredible luxury hotel whilst remaining
the Morgan Schneiderlin suite.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
United will be working a lot through, but I think it's positive. If Old Trafford can stay, that would be my ideal.
I'd love that. Thank you for the update.
Also, you can also listen to it as well, and he does a phone in every Thursday on the Radio Manchester. So if you've got any United questions to put to him about it, call in. People will call in all day, the United fans.
Joshua Bowater says, I for one am fuming that Ericsson isn't playing in the single pivot with Garnacho, Rashford, Bruno, Højlund and Xerxes in front of him. Could we get that up, Ethan? Is that available to us? Just my predicted 11 from the preview. Because I was certain that we would be seeing this, but obviously Joshua Bowater has referenced that for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Get it what up?
For anyone who hasn't seen it.
I don't know what he was referring to.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Can you get my predicted 11 from the preview that Joshua Bowater is referencing there? Ronaldo is sure spitting facts. He hasn't spoke for about 3 minutes. Ronaldo, I want your take on this front three.
It might be a stan.
Maybe, just one of your boys, no matter what. Front three: Rashford, Xerxes, Garnacho. What do you make of that? Do you think we're, like Joe said, do you think we're searching for the trio, or do you think it's a horses for courses? We'll change it depending on the opposition kind of thing.
I think it looks like it will be a horses for courses because you've got Højlund that can come into that as well, and I don't think there's necessarily a problem with the fact that United have. How many different combinations of front threes we can have?
To be fair though, it's not that many though. What is it, like 6?
What?
There's only 4 of them for 3 spaces. It's not like we've got like 8 wingers and striker. No, 5 of them, sorry, for 3 spaces. It's not crazy sort of lugubrious, is it?
Yeah, but it gives us like versatility for whenever we want to like.
You throw Anthony in the mix.
Just depends on who we're playing. For example, he's gone for pace on either side today because we're coming up against a side that plays a high line, and then we might come up against a team where we need to control the game a little bit more, and then he might bring Ahmad back in. I would say Anthony, but I'm not sure about what's happening with Anthony at the moment. So
I don't know I don't know if he's part of a rotation, to be honest.
Yeah. So, but yeah, for me, I think it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the midfield 3 that seems to have the best kind of balance to it is the Xerxes, Rashford, and Ahmad one. But Garnacho, what Garnacho has shown is he's a little bit more effective when he does go to the right than Rashford is when he goes to the right. So that's definitely a feather in Garnacho's cap, and that might actually get him more games now as well, especially because there's always this debate about who should start on the left between Rashford and Garnacho.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that a penalty?
Check for a potential penalty, but it's been disallowed.
They're never going to give those, like last second of the game, they're never going to give those if they're like 50-50, are they?
Corner to Ipswich.
Are we be seeing less VAR replays? Because I think so.
Have you seen the? I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not in there. It's offside.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say about 4 of them, even before they looked offside, didn't they?
Yeah. Joshua Bilwat before he said, "I thought I'm fuming that Eriksen isn't playing in the single pivot with Garnacho, Rashford, Bruno, Højlund, and Xerxes." I mean, he started 4 games in a row and was very good. So this was my predicted 11 for the preview, and I personally am furious we're not seeing that either. I think that works. There's balance there. That's an attacking but stable. What?
What balance?
Well, there's 5 at the front, 5 at the back, with a little pivot in the middle. That's a perfect seesaw. That is balance. Do you know what I mean?
And Eriksen's cover all that by himself.
Well, yeah, but that's what we expect of a man who started 4 games in 11 days.
He's joining Ten Hag on the attempted murder vibe.
Yeah, that is mad though, isn't it? That he started 4 games in 15 days.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
But he did well in.
He did, except obviously giving FC 20 their goal in the last game.
Yeah,
he didn't do very well there. But, he scored his own, which again is its own form of balance, isn't it? But yeah, he didn't go with that. He went with this. Spike says, do we need a keeper? Today, probably should start with one usually, shouldn't you?
Yeah,
teams tend to start with a keeper.
Key.
But I think he's talking about, do we need a new keeper? I think Onana's been good this season. He does have sort of bozo positioning at times. He does have that. Like that one at the near post against 20.
It feels like every time a team goes in 1v1 against him, you're not really expecting him to save it.
No, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? And even the one, it's not really his fault that Eriksen gave the ball away, but it's just how easily the guy scored near post. It was a bit like, pick your poison.
I know. He does kind of give space in his goal, doesn't he, a little bit, Onana. But I think on the ball and in terms of build-up, he's been really good this season. Do you? You're not a fan, are you?
No, I am a fan.
No,
Why are you throwing that my way?
Is the AC on, by the way? Because
is what?
It feels like it's gotten colder.
Nah, it's just the temperature.
If it is, can I turn it off? Can you turn it off, please? Insane.
I think Onana's done all right. I'm on a huge. I think
there it is.
What everyone sort of in the build up to Onana arriving at Old Trafford was the idea that he was going to change the way we do keeping forever, and then he came in and had a shaky first season, and then it was like, oh, don't worry, he will get better, and yeah, we've gotten slightly better this season, although we aren't facing as many shots, which is great and it's key, but I wouldn't say it's the big overhaul success I think many fans thought it was going to be. Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah, it was a modern keeper that we needed to bring in to United after David De Gea was there for so long, but I can't see the changes being monumental to what I think some fans thought it was going to be. But I thought it was going to revitalise the way we do things and work out from the back, whereas it's kind of like hindered us in some elements, hasn't it?
I don't know. I do think that his shot stopping's been questionable, definitely at times. But I also think that he does play out from the back really well most of the time. So how much do you? It's hard to quantify what that actually gains you in a season, because it's never directly translating to goals unless you're kicking the ball over the top, getting assists like Ederson does occasionally. It's hard to work out how much does a keeper who's good with his feet actually get you in terms of points. Admittedly, we've not been that much better than we were when De Gea was here, but I think there's a lot of things that have gone into that. But it's hard to know, innit? Weirdly, this game is 10th versus 11th, Tottenham versus United. Right. Do you think Tottenham's bad start to the season is going under the radar a little bit, Ronnie? Or do you think that they're getting the criticism similar to Man United? It's a lovely goal there from Ipswich. Delap second goal.
I think Ange has started to come up under a little bit of pressure recently.
Yeah.
Because some of the results weren't good enough. The form going into end of last season as well. The lack of pragmatism almost that's been labelled as an Ange team. And it's getting them caught out in the Premier League, which is sometimes accused Ten Hag of, is where if you don't have that kind of defensive solidity aspect to you or that kind of pride in defending, there's too much quality in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I think you will get caught out if you're giving too many teams opportunities. And that's how I think Tottenham needed to improve. And their results have obviously been a little bit iffy.
Yeah.
And I think they're never going to get the same amount of scrutiny as a United manager or Manchester United are going to get. But I've seen the pressure start to mount on them a little bit. I know they've had a couple of wins in a row, haven't they? To kind of take the pressure off against Brentford and against Carabao in midweek. But
and they beat Coventry as well last minute
in Coventry as well.
In the Carabao.
But yeah, Tottenham, United, they're not massively comparable. No disrespect to them. So I think a Tottenham manager's just never going to get the same amount of scrutiny that a Manchester United manager will get.
Yeah, I agree with that. What have you made of Tottenham so far this season?
I think we both have had an interesting kickstart to their campaign, whereas what I think that's happened the other side of the table is that the top teams have started off unbelievably well. So when we start comparing how are we going to fight for the top four spots, you start seeing pressure and you start seeing teams drifting already from the pack, which will make it very, very difficult, because you look at the way, unfortunately, Villa dropping points there, but the way that Chelsea, Newcastle, Arsenal, City, Liverpool have all started, they've started pretty well. So when we, Man United and Tottenham, want to be up there in the top 5, top 4, then we're always going to get compared to how the top 5 are looking right now, and they're looking very good.
But just on that though, I mean, I know City are doing well and Arsenal are doing well and Liverpool are doing well. They're your top 3. Liverpool yesterday were decent. I don't think they were any better than decent. I thought they looked quite sloppy. Wolves had good play and they allowed them possession and they allowed them chances. And I would say they probably just about deserved to win the game, but they weren't any better than we were against Palace or Southampton, for instance, and they really struggled against Wolves. City yesterday, I thought, were kind of matched in terms of intensity by Newcastle. Again, I know St James's Park is a difficult place to go, but I don't think they stood out as the better team in that game. And Arsenal the same in their last game. I think they...
Yeah, but they're winning, Joe.
No, well, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. The point I'm getting to is that Arsenal needed extra time to not go from 2 goals up to dropping 2 points against Leicester, one of the worst teams in the Premier League. They dropped a 2-goal lead against them. My point that I'm getting to is, I think the only thing separating us, which is a big thing, and I'm not pretending it isn't, and the likes of, so far this season, Arsenal and City, for instance, is putting the ball in the back of the net. I genuinely think a couple extra goals here or there, and our performances on the whole haven't been much different to theirs.
I massively disagree.
With what? You think Arsenal have been way better than us this season?
I think that's a wild statement. They've been better.
No, did you see the game yesterday? Did you see Liverpool yesterday? Did you see Newcastle against City?
So
Liverpool against Forest.
So you think all these teams are fighting at the same level? It's just that they're scoring more.
I think that's an insane statement. No, I think all those teams above us have played better. And I'm an advocate for 9 times out of 10, the table tells you exactly what you are.
Okay.
You are what the table says you are, and I think to say that we've basically been on par with Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal, apart from putting the ball in the net.
Yeah. So let's look at the table. So you say
to be fair, you can't make a statement like that with a caveat that's involved in actual football. You can't be like, we've been a similar level to these, apart from the fact that we've not defended as well as them or scored more. That doesn't make. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like,
because I'm narrowing it down to finishing, not chance creation or defending or attacking. United have conceded fewer goals than City.
That means they're better than if they.
No, I didn't say they weren't better. I said I think the main thing, and really not the only thing because they've got other things going on, but in terms of performances, the main difference is putting the ball in the back of the net. They are better because they're doing that.
I'd say that now. Ronaldo said, so we're sat in 11th. I would say right now, after 6 games, we are the 11th best team.
Yes, and I would agree with that. But I think the difference between I think the main difference between us being the 11th best team, which we have been, and the top 4 is putting the ball in the back of the net.
In terms of performances, I think some of our performances are mid-table performances.
Yeah,
whereas I don't think Liverpool.
Arsenal's performance yesterday against Leicester was a mid-table performance. City against Liverpool versus Forest was.
I'm not sure about the Arsenal thing. Arsenal conceded 2 goals with was it 0.2 XG? And I think they created the most XG that team's created in the last 3 years in the Premier League. But have you seen the stats to that game?
The stats are great.
They didn't play as badly as you've made out.
No, Leicester are then sitting back trying to defend their lead. I'm just saying, Liverpool yesterday conceded chances, conceded pressure against Wolves. This whole thing about United where it's we need to control a team for 90 minutes. Most of these teams so far this season, and I think they've got levels to go to that maybe we haven't, but so far this season, I don't think a lot of these teams have dominated every game 90 minutes. The way we're expecting our team to do that.
These teams have credit in the bank. No, that's the difference.
You're not wrong. I'm just saying I think the main difference between what I've seen from other teams when I've actually watched them and what I've seen from our team when I've actually watched them is putting the ball in the back of the net.
And I mean
just purely finishing.
I'd start to question then why have we as Manchester United, if that is our main thing, spent money on 2 strikers that haven't proved that they are goal scorers yet, in terms of Højlund and Xerxes? Because if that is the main problem, they're both very young, in their careers. Hopefully one day they will be great goal scorers, 20 upwards goals. But unfortunately, we bought 2 players that aren't that. So in these fine margins, we haven't got someone who puts the ball in the back of the net.
Right, so basically, Joe, your point that you're making is, if we scored more goals, we'd be further up the table.
You're simplifying it to the point where... No, but you're simplifying it to the point where you might as well just say if we won more games, we'd win more games.
That's what it sounds like.
But it's not, though, because you know the difference between the finishing when you've got a chance... Your system is in place, you're controlling the game, you're making chances, you're in front of the goal with the ball at your feet and you don't score. That is a much more narrow and pointed point I'm making than just if we won more, we'd win more.
But
we've missed more chances than anyone else in the league. That is a stat, that is a fact. If we'd have just scored, let's not even say we'd missed the least chances.
It's a tricky argument you got yourself here.
But if United had missed only as many as the second most in that table, we've still missed the second most of anyone in the league instead of the first. That would be 5 extra goals this season, which could easily give us an extra 2, 6, 8 points, depending on how you spread them out. That's my point, is if we'd have only been as wasteful as the second most wasteful team this season, I think we'd be right in that top 4 conversation. And I think a lot of our performances have been roughly on a par with the likes of some of the City performances I've seen and Liverpool and Arsenal this season. And certainly better than most of Newcastle's. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, okay. So, but in reality, we sit here today, 11th place, and those things haven't happened.
Yeah.
And unfortunately... The way football is, it's a results,
and it might cost Ten Hag his job.
Yeah, it's a results business. And the reality is, because I don't know, sometimes dealing with hypotheticals, I think we've gotten to a position now where we have to go beyond that. Do you know what I mean?
They have to turn that into reality.
They have to turn it into reality.
And I'm not saying I'm happy with it and let's keep missing everything. But the point I'm trying to make is, with a lot of people talk about United controlling games for 50, 60, 70 minutes, like we did against Palace, like we did against Southampton, like we did against, I think, certainly the first 50 minutes against Brighton. But we need to push on to 80, 90 minutes. My point is, except on a very good day, even the Arsenals, Cities and Liverpools so far this season haven't controlled their opposition for 90 minutes. What they've done is, they've done similar to what we have, which is control the game for 60 minutes, make an abundance of chances in that 60 minutes, and scored 2 or 3 goals in that 60 minutes. And that's what United aren't doing. And if we'd have scored the 2 goals that we should have scored against Palace when we were on top, they probably never would have had that 20 minutes where they would look so good. And if United had have done that, I think United's performances would be on a similar level to the teams above us. And that's my point.
But in the end, it hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened.
I think my worry would be there
it hasn't happened.
is if we all start getting better as football clubs and the top teams start getting better, if Villa start getting better, Chelsea start getting better, if we're saying that we're performing at the same sort of standard as them, I worry that by the time we really start kicking off as Man United, that those teams will be, if they're doing not as good as they are now, but still in that great positions, I worry when they start playing, we won't be able to catch them.
Funnily enough, Sky are just showing a stat now, which if you're watching Sky, you'll be seeing this, is the attacking stats. The goal converting chances, the goals, the shot conversion, the XG performance, the missed big chances. They are making, not quite to the same level, a very similar point to the one I'm making. XG per shot and XG per game, United are in the top 4 for both. Converting those chances, we are in the bottom 2 for both. What I'm saying is if we could just sort of level those things out a bit, bring that XG per, bring those, the chance creation and bring that up to the goals, or the vice versa, sorry, it would be a very different story this season. I think for that reason is why I'm positive is what I'm trying to say.
I feel like there's always something
things to come.
There's always something like one year we were incredible away from home. One year we're getting more shots than any other team, so we're conceding more. One year that we're not scoring our chances. There always seems to be something recently where we're always really bad at it.
Yeah,
and it just seems to and we're always here arguing if we can just get that bit down, we'd be great. But it feels like
last season it was the 20 shots against.
20 shots a
game. That was the big if we can stop.
We've minimized that. Score.
Yeah. We've got rid of the 20 shots against us every week. We're making chances. We're controlling games. We just can't put the ball in the back of the net. We've got some super chats. AJ Big Drip says, Joe, I love you, but you do speak some crap.
AJ Big Drip.
Alisco Cam says, Joe sounds like Ten Hag. Yeah, I do actually. Parky says, Ronaldo banged on about underlying numbers last year, meaning we should have finished off a lot worse, but wants to just ignore them now. Response?
Oh, my response was, how many games have we played this season in the league?
6.
Five so far.
5.
I'd rather look at underlying numbers for a 30 to 38 league game sample rather than a 5-1.
Unbelievable. So come back in 9 months and Ronnie will respond to your question.
Yeah,
Eminem5533 says Joe's gaslighting us already. Great points. Very good points. Very, very good points. Pinardo says, I don't get the obsession with being sad and depressed. Yeah, me neither. I'm trying. Jackie Foster says, only one stat matters. What's that one? Who's the leader of Germany? Is that the only stat that matters? I don't know which stat.
Rashford's got boots that say "Believe in yourself" on them.
Embarrassing. Conspiracy of the bin liners says Joe is a king. Others muddered there. Brilliant. Thank you. I'm just trying to provide balance. It might have been about you to be fair. That is true actually. Positive about big chances missed. Maybe we're top on this stat because we simply don't score. I'm not positive about it. I'm saying it's a problem that should be solvable. And the other thing with XG, and I know people hate this, is people are like, oh well, of course we're going to underperform on that because we haven't got very good strikers. XG isn't just Haaland's numbers, it's an average across basically most professional leagues. So these are being compared to strikers far worse than they are. So you should at least hit average numbers. If you're playing for Man United, you're better than a lot of the people that the XG data is based on. So there's no excuse, even for Xerxes, who's not a great finisher, or Rashford, who's not an elite finisher, to be finishing well below their XG across the season.
That will balance out, though.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's my point. I think these chances will balance out. We just have to hope it starts happening this season.
There'll be one game where we create 1 XG and maybe score like 4
5 goals. Proper Liverpool style. Unbelievable. Marcus says, all teams miss big chances. Chelsea scored 4 yesterday and Palmer could have had 7 and Jackson 5. You're waffling. There was a point yesterday where Chelsea were 4-0 up with 5 shots on target. That isn't particularly representative of an average goal-scoring performance. So, yeah, they could have scored more, but, they also had very, very good numbers for those first few goals that put the game completely to bed.
Yep.
Anyway, Slick Vic says Ronaldo just enjoys debating you. Yin versus Yang. Yeah, he does, and I do as well. That's why I like having Ronaldo on.
But also as well, if we're all just sat there going, fuck yeah, this is great.
No, it's good. No one's being cruel or nasty in the comments. I think some disagree with me, some disagree, some agree with you. I think that's fine. That's that's understandable.
It can be cool and nasty if they want.
Yeah. Oh, there's some of that as well. Don't worry about that. No Son is a positive. No Son is a positive. Thoughts?
He's right.
Very cold, isn't it?
Very, very, yeah. I agree. I'm just sipping on ice here. Is that all right?
Can you sip on a solid?
What is it with the Dunkin'? It's got really
You went Dunkin' Donuts.
It's got really popular Dunkin' Donuts in terms of the coffee, the lattes and the frappes that they make now.
They've just come in. They've just got stuck in, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because they're kind of doing what Krispy Kreme does, but they bring in the coffee as well.
Yeah.
And they're doing what Starbucks does, but they're bringing the donuts as well. So it's a nice little gap in the market they found themselves. Respect. Absolutely respect that. Someone says Joe is a master debater. That's Miles. I mean, it's
I'm glad he put a D.
Ibrahim says, Joe, do you think they will score more than one goal? No. Probably not between now and the end of the season. That's the problem, isn't it? We've got 15 minutes till kick-off. Get your score predictions in the comments. Massive game today. Get your score predictions, not just the scoreline. Who's going to get the goals? It's Echo, who's been a member for 26 months. Says, congrats on the live show, lads. Up the Sloppers. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Sloppy Joe's live coming up in November. Fortunately, sold out already. Probably should have picked a slightly larger venue, but, you know.
It costs too much money.
Yeah, you don't want to leave money on the table. But on the other hand, they don't want 150 seats not filled.
No.
So, yeah, very good. Thank you, everyone. For
Someone
buying a
cheeky
ticket.
fucking thought, this must be a glitch, lads, but it said you sold out.
Unbelievable.
No glitch there, mate.
Absolutely unbelievable.
We sold out.
We sold out. Captain Steakbake. And what do you think his profile picture is, Joe McGrath?
And a sausage roll.
No, Steakbake. It says 2-0 United. Lee GC says 3-1 United. Brobot says scrappy 3-3 draw. Have you got a brother, Joe?
Joe Brot? No, I got a sister.
Would you like a Brobot?
Yeah, please. Yeah. What would he do for me?
Just be a brother to you.
Just be a brother?
Yeah.
Would he look after me when I'm old and grey?
That's not what brothers do, is it?
Yeah, you'd look after your brother when you're old and grey.
I ain't got a brother. Jamie Moynihan says 4-2 win. David Ellingsworth 4-3. Xerxes Mainu Garnacho brackets 2.
Do you find it mad that you're someone's brother?
Yeah, but I ain't got a brother.
But you are a brother.
I am a brother.
I thought he was your brother.
Yeah, do you think we're related?
Brother in arms.
Brothers in arms.
Brothers in arms.
Lollipop says, can't lie, I'm nervous for this one. Iga Moses says, we're scoring 3-0.
Brilliant, I like that.
Slick Vic says 3-0, baby.
3-0, baby.
Bones says, overdue a pen. Interesting. Jackie Foster says 0-2. Great. Cheers, Jackie.
0-2.
No, you know what? I don't mind a little...
Jackie.
0-2.
Don't say that.
Sorry.
Jesus. Ashraf says 3-1 United. Derek Ibbison says 4-1. Richie 3 Wilkins.
It's a real. If we're sat here in 2 hours and we've got beat, it's a real uphill climb now for Ten Hag.
Well, let's talk about that
Because I just feel we had a real optimistic end to last season. 2 decent results, Newcastle, Brighton. We go to City at Wembley. We have a good team for Ten Hag. Ten Hag plays football like we thought he could. He gets the win over one of the best teams in the world. We win the FA Cup. And we add to what is, a Ten Hag team by bringing more players in. And now we've got a team here, and Ten Hag has not had the greatest of starts. Where was this spirit from the FA Cup final? Where was the way we played, the formation, the freedoms on the counter? Where has it all gone? I think we've tried maybe to change too much too soon, when Ten Hag maybe should have looked at how well he did in the FA Cup final, and if there's any way of just keeping repeating that until he can start experimenting a little bit more with his team. And we're in a situation where if he gets beat today by a Tottenham side, it's just an awful situation to be in, considering we've got Porto and then Villa. It's just a big week.
Yeah,
Too big, Ronaldo.
It is big. What would a loss mean for Ten Hag, Ronaldo? Do you think today? We're not having that.
Wow.
What would a loss mean for Ten Hag today?
It would just mean pressure, because obviously, as you said, we've got that 7 days of Tottenham, and you've got Porto away, which will, even though they lost to Bodo Glimt, was it, in their first league game in midweek, that will be very difficult. Always will be. I think they beat Arsenal there last season, and you've got Villa next week. They've just dropped points to Ipswich, but that is still a very good side. So, to me, I've said United have a squad that I believe is capable of beating all 3 of these teams, because I think all 3 of these teams have deficiencies that United can exploit, and I hopefully feel like I'm correct in that, and not that we win all 3. How confident I am, not too much, but I think if he does lose today, it puts extra pressure on the next couple of games, because I think if he loses these 3, there'll be serious problems, I think. And I think it sounds a little bit like obvious though, saying if a United manager loses 3 games in a week, they're going to be under pressure.
Yeah.
I think no matter what part of the tenure a manager is in, managing at Manchester United, they'd always be under pressure if they lost 3 games in a row.
What do you think? Because I really believe, and it was quite clear that Ineos wanted another manager to replace Ten Hag, but there was the combination and the mixture of him winning the FA Cup and them not being able to find a suitable replacement means that they stuck with him for another year and not offering him a new contract, but that sort of extended the other one. Now we're in a situation where there'll be people in that board who don't want Ten Hag to manage United. Like literally the very biggest people probably will not want it. Maybe even Sir Jim Ratcliffe doesn't want it. And the other big, they've got a decision to make. Because I think he just stays until someone is there for them. But if that is now, if they know someone now, then I think Ten Hag has literally got games to save his United career.
So you think it's just a case of if they have a suitable replacement, they'll get rid of him?
Yeah, and I also think he's not helping himself, because if we're currently 4th playing Tottenham at home and we can go and we can keep our top 4 spot today, then there's no way we're talking about this. But we're 11th and games are coming thick and fast. Points are being lost here, there and everywhere.
So just on the 11th thing, if we win by more than 1 goal today, if we win today, we'll go 8th.
Great.
That's the furthest up we can go. Obviously, Tottenham on the same points as us. Same thing. Newcastle on 11. United currently on 7 points. Newcastle in 7th. So we couldn't catch them, but we could go ahead of Brighton. And then after that, there's a bit of a gap between them and the top teams. But again, it's not a million miles away.
It's not a million miles
away.
away.
If we win today, we'd be 3 points behind Chelsea, who everyone is saying has had a really good start. We'd be 3 points behind Aston Villa as well. So it's not necessarily as bad as it feels, but that's only if we start winning. This is the thing about having a bad start, because there's so few games. It's only 5 games.
Because even going back to today and going back to Tottenham's lineup, it's a very offensive lineup that they've got going there.
Yeah,
they've got a midfield 3 that has Kulusevski, who's a right winger, and Maddison in it, who's a 10.
Yeah, I'll go through their lineup again quick. Oh, it's on the screen there, sorry. So we've got Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven and Udogi. Then, like you said, the midfield there, Maddison, Bentancur, Kulusevski, Johnson, Solanke, Werner. You've basically got 2 midfielders there, and everyone else is either wingers or strikers.
Maddison's basically a 10 and a second striker as well. He also plays out wide. In theory, they're playing 5 attackers today.
Yeah.
So I think they shouldn't be defensively that solid. I think United could exploit that, but they're probably going to be quite dangerous going forward, because they've got a lot of attacking personnel there. I think obviously they don't have Heung-min Son, which I think is huge for us. That's a huge boost. They've got Timo Werner, who really all he offers you is pace, but I don't want to say anything else beyond that, because we have the kiss of death on here whenever we talk about a player, because I could be a lot harsher on Timo Werner.
Yeah. I mean, when you talk
you probably
about,
could as well.
Yeah, I feel scared and scarred now after what I said about Luis Diaz. And then he went on to have the best 2 weeks he's ever had in his career. What was it, 6 goals in 3 games and 2 of them against us? We've got a few quotes from Erik Ten Hag. He said, "We have to kill games. We're creating lots of chances, but we don't finish enough," which is just a fact. Erik Ten Hag says, "I'm worried when we don't create chances. I know we have players who can finish. We have plenty of good finishers." Talking about Rashford in that regard, he says, "Last week he scored 3 goals, so it's a good direction. Now he has to make the last step." We spoke about that before. Do you agree with that, obviously maybe not quite as pushing it as far as my point of United haven't been that far off the top teams in terms of performance, but one thing we can't deny is the goal scoring hasn't been there. The chances we've missed, the chances we've created don't add up. We're missing far more than we should be. We're missing far more than the teams around us. How can that change? Do you think it's simply a numbers thing, a roll of the dice thing, or do you think there's sort of fundamental issues with this front line?
I think all you can do is, United are creating chances and creating opportunities and just not putting them away. So all you can do is just keep creating those chances and opportunities, and eventually you will be putting them away.
Yeah.
Or just try harder to put them away. I think that it sounds simplistic, it sounds basic, but it's obviously a good sign that we are creating opportunities. I think if you aren't creating chances, that should be more of a worry and more of a concern. So I think United need to just keep doing what they're doing, and I'm confident that more of these chances will go in, and we will score more goals.
Is it so weird that time where we are cursed in a weird way? The time we brought in a corner specialist and we didn't score corners. The time we brought in a new doctor, then everyone got injured. The time Ruud van Nistelrooy comes to the club and now no one can score a goal. It's like, fuck me.
I think
let's get a loser expert in.
Yeah,
and then we'll
true.
start winning everything. It's like,
well,
it's
you're
like we
here,
look
though,
at.
so how
we
can
do
you be in two places at once?
Loser. We do look at trying to be better, but whenever we implement it and whenever we bring people in to help us, we get worse.
That area gets worse. Whatever we focus on gets worse.
It's crazy.
It is bizarre. I mean, you said there, Ronaldo, about just making more chances. I think that has to be that's the only way, isn't it? If you're firing arrows at a target, having more arrows in your quiver is the best way to, like, eventually you're going to hit it. Like, if we just keep taking shots, we're going to score eventually. Rather than thinking, oh shit, I've only got 1 arrow, I better score this. If we can make 10 chances a game, then eventually you're going to start scoring, and with a bit of confidence, players start overperforming rather than underperforming. He also spoke about Bruno Fernandez, who's been under a lot of stick over the last few games. He said, every season's the same. At the end of the season, Bruno created the most chances in the Premier League and scored a lot of goals. I'm not worried. Do you think that it's as simple as that, Ronnie? That, you know, we hear this thing about Bruno being wasteful. He has these spells where he doesn't look himself. Maybe he's tired. Maybe he's not doing the right things. But then it sort of evens itself out, and over the season, Bruno's up there again with 150 chances created or whatever it is.
That's the thing. That skill of creating chances at that that type of click, it's only like him and De Bruyne and a few others in world football that are capable of doing that. So he's got this kind of game-changing, irreplaceable trait about him. That way, you kind of alleviate some of the other concerns that you have in terms of giving the ball away.
Yeah.
Because at any moment, Bruno can change the game with a pass or some like moment of brilliance, and that's not as easy to replace as people think it is. But I think his performances this season haven't been great. I think he's been quite poor, but just because of the fact that he provides so much energy, and he's almost like the pressing trigger for United as well. It's not always just about what he's like on the ball.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that his performance will get better, because for me, I think Bruno's too good to keep performing like this. So I'm hoping that something does click for him.
Yeah, me too. Joe McGrath, give me a score prediction. 2 minutes.
I hope Man United win. I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1 Man United. Like I said, I think the goal's in it. I hope, though, that we are the ones taking 3 points home at the end of it. Like, you know, it's tricky.
I think it's 3-2 United.
3-2.
I think United against Tottenham at Old Trafford, we usually come out on top.
I'm nervous here. I feel really nervous.
Really?
Yeah. Let's get to 1,000 likes. There's 13 likes at the minute. 3,500 people watching. We can easily get to 1,000. 600 more likes. If we get to 1,000 likes, United will win. And that is, I've had that word. Sir Alex has told me he'll make sure that we win if you get to 1,000 likes. So please hit the like button if you haven't already. Dan C says, I'm going 2-2. Tyson Barnett says 5-0 win. Jed's Dead Baby says 5-1. Floodgates are going to open on this one. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
5-1?
Imagine we just pulverised him and Ange quits on the touchline. He rips up his contract and just throws it at the
He's
pitch.
got
takes his pants off.
Yeah, something like that. Just absolutely lose it.
Yeah.
I'll name this podcast later. It says 3-0 Manchester United. Kyra Taylor says 3-1.
Mate.
Yeah. God. A draw feels like a loss. Would you take a draw today? Or is a draw too much of a
draw? A draw is quite a big possibility today for this fixture. We got to look out for Dominic Solanke because he completely bullied us last year for Bournemouth.
Yeah, he did.
Was it 2-2 last game at Old Trafford, was it, with these guys?
Against
I remember Hoyland scoring quite a pretty great goal first off, and then we sort of just let them back in.
Oh yeah,
and then so we could have seen exact same fucking scoreline.
Could see a replica of that.
It was 2-2.
2-2 last season. We lost 2-0 the season before that.
I'd love nothing more than a Ugarte man of the match performance. Right?
Yeah, me too.
Just for
come on, everyone. Good luck, everyone. We're about to kick off.
Good luck, everyone.
Notifications off, please.
Notifications off, please.
Oh God, I feel sick. Hate this.
Do I have to say notification off, please? Yeah, it's always this little 30 seconds before the game starts. I get really nervous, and then when the game actually starts, I'm not.
I'm a little bit nervous.
We need. If we get bad here, it's going to be.
It's going to be hell for a week.
Terrible few days. It's going to be proper Ten Hag fighting for his life, tackling it.
Hell. They could have won it as well, I think.
I wonder how we'll manage.
There's always something about Tottenham that's a bit flimsy. Where I feel like.
Yeah, but you say that.
Yeah.
Oh.
What? Ball up the
James in
pitch,
charge
back
of the
to
team today.
Vicaria.
Do.
Kicked off.
Yeah,
I wonder how United sort of interest in holding the ball and 60-70% possession that we've seen in the last few games, how that will marry with Tottenham's high press. We might have to kind of
allow them.
Yeah.
And how will we press against the way that Tottenham press with the
we're seeing a little press from United. Forced him long and out for a throw-in. Decent press so far from United.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty standard at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, they do this with the opportunities if we nick it, though, with the way that they invert the fullbacks.
Yeah. I mean, United have been doing a lot of that, haven't they, with Dallo? We talked about it in the last game.
Yeah, but I think Tottenham are the only ones that do it with both. So it's almost like a square.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a little box in the middle. That's a nice little turn. Played out well there, Tottenham. Well, they've not played out, but they've played around.
Cool. I wondered whether we'd combine like a bit of a press with the occasional like mid-block, because then you've got the opportunity that when they come onto you, I think Ten Hag probably thinks we can exploit them on the counter with Rashford and Bruno. Yeah. Rashford and Garnacho.
Especially if you have this mid-block like United have got now.
Yeah.
If you win the ball back, you've got a cluster of players there. I mean, they haven't won it back, and Tottenham have got the ball into the box.
Oh my God, a bit
headed away comfortably by Mazraoui and again by Ugarte.
Loads
of
heads.
Xerxes. Keep the ball, man.
He does feel like such a tall, dominant force when you don't see him on the shot and he comes into play.
Who's Xerxes?
Yeah, Xerxes. He's like, there he is.
Do you like him, Joe?
I'm fond. I obviously would love him to score more goals. I'm fond of his some of his a part of his performance.
Yeah,
but I'd like him to be more prolific in front of goal.
Yeah, me too.
I think he wants to be a great United player, which is always which is always
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying. I think you can see in him. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, now lads,
this is. I mean, that is very poor.
Yeah,
playing out from the back, giving the ball away.
Played the low.
I mean,
and he's on there. Bruno's on.
Nice.
Now we can go. Now we can go. Loads of space to run into.
Here we go.
Ball behind. That's okay.
Poor. Come on, nice.
Marcus.
Go on. No! One of you.
Nacho's got to stick with that.
Fucking hell.
They only can play this way because they've got this absolute freak of nature. Look at
Van.
It might just be an absolute. Oh my God! It's a goal.
Scored.
Oh my God! It's a fucking goal.
Fucking Brennan Johnson. It's Van der Ven just ran through the whole team, squared it across goal, and they've scored.
That is absolutely ridiculous. Just from what was like a positive start for United, pushing forward.
It's not been that positive. I think.
No, I meant the flow of play where we had Garnacho.
Really, has it? It's been nothing either way. They've had a bit of the ball. We've had a bit of the ball. We fucked about in our box. Gave the ball away. Garnacho and Rashford muddled the ball between them. Garnacho's got to take that there. And then Van der Ven just steps in and does what the FC20 player did in the week, which is sprint through the whole fucking middle of the pitch. Too much space. No one at the back post. Dallo's not with his man. You can't have players in consecutive games sprinting through the whole pitch. Where's the midfield here?
Absolutely.
Where's the midfield?
Too easy, this.
Where's the midfield?
Freak of
there
nature.
Isn't one.
I will give credit. Van der Ven's a bit of a freak of nature.
He is, but he's not
still easy.
He's not 20 miles an hour faster than everyone who's got 15 yards watching him coming towards him. I know he's probably the quickest player on the pitch or thereabouts, but it's not like he's twice as fast as our players. We're just switching off.
That is
embarrassing.
I'm not watching that goal back. That is fucking.
We're switching off.
That is so shit.
That is so embarrassing. And it's play like that and manage just that you think what do we do all week as Man United? What do we look at? What do we train for? What do we prepare to do?
How's that the manager's fault?
No, but
what are we blaming him for?
What I'm saying is, well, you just said that's exactly what happened at 20 during the week. And it is. So did we not go? That was a mistake.
That wasn't. Yeah, lads. Do you remember last week when I told you to let someone run through the whole pitch? Don't do that again.
All right. So if that happens again, is it just still the player's fault?
I think
we can't just be like, there's something going on here.
You can't never blame the players for things. The players are fucking on the pitch.
But if they play,
so the players
if the exact same goal is scored again after again, then maybe, just maybe, the players need telling different instructions.
Okay.
Because it feels
hey, today,
like,
lads, don't let everyone run past you. Do you know when someone's sprinting towards you, instead of letting him go past you, don't do that.
So why didn't they?
Because they're fucking switched off. Maybe you can blame the manager for
How are they
not
switched off after 3 minutes of football?
I don't know.
Let's
blame the manager for
maybe.
that. Let's blame the manager for that. Not watching the run at the back post.
Delon not being at the back post is a crazy. It's
crazy. I'm not saying the manager's
poor.
completely blameless, but I can't. It's like the fact that we're jumping straight to that when the players have fucked up. Rashford makes a pass to Garnacho, and instead of going to get the ball, he lets Van der Ven run past him, and goes the other way. See that there, a mistimed pass that's too short, and Ugarte stood still. They need to fucking switch on.
Fucking hell, lads.
It's embarrassing. It's a 5-yard pass. It's a fantastic throw, that.
Come on. Fucking hell.
Just need to get the foot on the ball and actually think about what's happening here. Because at the minute, it's sloppy and they look scared.
Shit.
And that's poor from Delay.
Just a loose touch by De Ligt as well. We look nervy, man. We look shaky, man.
That's what happens when you concede in the 3rd minute, innit? Tottenham can do what they want now. United have to come out.
No, it's early days still.
Fuck me. That's just bad, isn't it?
There we go.
Oh.
Come on, we need to fucking chill out. Proper shit, that.
For like nervy, but then the early goal looks to have rattled us a little bit. Need to get ourselves together. What the
That's just ridiculous, that. That's just ridiculous.
Alright, I agree with you. Like, how quick and powerful he is, that's a bit too, like, that's a bit too
he's
far.
he's not in a car. Do you know what I mean? He's not on a fucking motorbike going 60 miles an hour. He's still just running like a fast human being is. Everyone's watching him come and going, he's running in this gap that's here, this corridor. Shall I go into that corridor? No, I'll just run alongside him and let him do me because he's got all the momentum. Just stupid, like, they're just not on it yet. No one even got near him to take him out. No one could have touched him. You couldn't take him out, they weren't there.
Oh my God.
Shocking start from United.
It's a crazy game so far, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Oh. It's like we've not, I mean, you can blame the manager for this. It's like they've not got the memo of how big a game this is. Like, let's just start off soft. Or maybe they're sort of paralysed by it. I don't know.
I think early goals are gut punch.
Yeah, horrible.
Oof, no way.
Good head.
Alright, come on, keep the fucking ball for more than one pass.
It said there'll be goals, so hopefully we score. Keep this momentum going a bit.
We need to get the ball first. Every time we get the ball, we pass it around the back and get surprised by the fact that they're good at pressing us. What's the option here? Well done.
Nice.
That's a lovely pass. That's a shit pass.
Now, lads. Oh, my days.
That's shite.
That was the worrying start.
Decent bit of play to begin with.
was.
Oh, yeah, great bit of play.
He played out well.
It off.
And then Xerxes got 2 options and just boots it behind both of them.
Okay, now.
This is a problem as well. When you concede like the first shot that you have against you, it's just that worrying thing of like, you've basically started the game 1-0 down. And overcoming that against anyone is difficult, let alone against a good team in Tottenham, who, even if it was 0-0, it's going to be a tough game. We basically went, you can start the game 1-0 up, there you go. Like we did with City in the FA Cup final 2 years ago. Do you want to start 1-0 up?
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
go on then.
Go on.
Go on.
Oh, lucky, mate.
Great first touch there from Rashford. Really good first touch.
Who passed that?
I think
it was Onana,
fantastic passing behind.
Is it Onana? Yeah.
It's a brilliant ball from Onana, that.
Oh, he's offside as well.
It's not. I mean, the middle's playing him on. Van der Ven's playing him on, I think. And it won't matter anyway now.
Yeah,
will
it don't matter because he didn't score, but we get a corner at least.
Just
got a little clever
Romero
shove.
just the shove, wasn't it? Not enough for a penalty.
Oh, they've given offside, I think.
Have they?
Yeah.
That's tight.
I think that was really tight. Van der Ven in the middle was certainly like. Where are you playing it from?
Unless it wasn't a corner. What?
No,
they're playing a goal.
On the replay, I thought it looked like offside, but then they've obviously given it. I thought they didn't give it, and then we was getting a corner.
I thought it was close
tight.
enough.
Yeah, it was tight. Would have them if we scored, they would have looked at it.
Yeah, and they actually might not have been offside.
Oh.
You know, just getting stretched here.
Jesus
Oh my
From
God.
behind here.
Oh my
God.
days. It got cut through too easily then, didn't
And
it?
that's a shocking header from Ugarte there.
They just...
Yeah, I mean, that's literally
Pissed
a
us.
1-2 running off the ball around the corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hardly
Luckily
tactical
we
genius
survived.
from Tottenham, and it was just too easy for him. It's way too easy. Come on, Joshua. Fucking hell.
Look at this. This is a replay of this. It's a very simple one too. Oh my God.
That's so
Just
simple.
looks so basic.
It's
though.
so simple, that. Well
Good
done,
save.
Onana. Good save. Makes himself
Good
big.
save from Ethan's favourite keeper.
Yeah, it's so basic, that. I mean, Ugarte probably should have tracked the man there rather than stepping in. But...
And it's just tracking your runners, isn't it? But 1-2s are so hard, but you need to make sure you track the runner.
Yeah.
Go on, just do it.
Oof, you know. I feel like we've not stopped anything yet. They've done what they want to do all the time, and we just wait until they make a mistake.
Losing 50-50s like that don't help.
Oh my days.
Look at this, look.
Oh.
That's easy.
Oh, God.
How are we
They're fucking
getting
carving us
this
open at will.
relentless attack on us? Are we... I've got a plan B for this.
Losing 50-50s like that don't help.
Fucking hell, Joe.
What?
You love everything being on the manager, don't you?
No, have we not got like... No.
Yeah, switch to plan B where they're shit now and we're great.
We can't just keep taking this though, can we? No?
I don't know. No, we can't. Obviously, we're going to lose.
Tottenham get it, going for it. It's 10 minutes in and I've not seen us have hardly anything.
Have we even made a pass? We have been absolutely shit. I'm not doubting that.
I'm not gonna lie, it sounds defeatist, but it's like I think we just need to not concede another one and just kind of weather the storm a little
Ride
bit.
the pressure out a bit.
And that's what I meant by
do
plan
that.
B. I didn't mean like...
Contraceptive.
Huh?
Because we're getting fucked right now.
That's true. Let's not let him get that.
No way he gets that.
Like that shit like that. I mean, fuck me. Yeah, it's been all Tottenham so far, and that goal just cements it as well, doesn't it? That gives you an extra few minutes of dominance. So annoying that you can see the first shot. It's a good cross as well from Van der Ven at the end of that run. When you're sprinting full pace like that, to have the presence of mind to just drill it as accurately as that across the box was a really good cross.
Gives them confidence as well.
Yeah. Perfect start for Tottenham. Shocking for United. Get me thoughts in the comments.
I'm seeing a bit of a physicality difference between the two teams as well. I don't know, like their team, they just look a little bit quicker.
Yeah, they
than
look
us.
way quicker. They're like
They look quicker and
sprinting
more
to
powerful.
everything, and we're jogging about.
Yeah,
They look
why
quick.
is that?
I don't know. Man on.
Oof. Fucking
It's a foul, ref. Fuck me.
clattered him.
It's a foul because you slammed into his body before you kick the ball away. You don't just knock someone over.
Come on. Nice.
Just get like our foot on it a little.
Yeah. Just have a good bit of the ball for a bit.
Oh,
Enjoy
shit.
a little bit of possession.
Good pass, Dallo.
Played the low.
Nice.
That's good. That's good. There's
Here
got to be
we
space
go.
somewhere. They
Here
can't be
we
pushing this
go.
hard all over the pitch.
Here we
Love.
go.
Oh my God.
we can do
Fucking
this.
feather on that.
Oh.
That pass from Bruno looked. It looked like it was on FIFA, didn't
Grass
it?
cutter.
The way just the backspin or the little.
It's unfortunate, but Xerxes
It is.
does ask for it.
Unlucky
Bit of a
there,
bad
Marcus.
pass,
That's
really
better
bad.
though from United. We actually found the space on the pitch rather than... Because up until then, every time they've put us in a corner, they've won the ball back. Whereas that time, they put us in the corner and we found the other side.
Yeah.
Like they're doing now.
It's going to be a very,
too easy.
very fucking intense game, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Win that.
Yeah, it's an interesting ball, that, wasn't it?
We need to do a couple more of them.
It's just that.
Show Tottenham that we've got a bit of
But
danger
the
as
issue
well.
is when a team presses that highly, there's plenty of spaces.
Yeah.
But you need the quality.
Yeah.
Because that passage of play, you see, look at the quality that was required.
Yeah.
To get to that opportunity.
That first time pass from Gallo
everything-
was difficult.
All of it. Do you know
The
what I
flick
mean?
around the corner was difficult.
Nice.
You got time here? A bit of time?
Yeah. Go on.
Good touch.
We need to look a little bit more enthusiastic when we got the ball.
I don't even mind if we just hold the ball for a minute, to be honest. That's a
Nice,
nice
good,
pass.
great pass.
Oh, shit.
What is going on there?
We just need to hold the
There's
ball.
a lot
for
of
minute.
unforced errors going on though,
Yeah,
man.
there is.
A little.
Was that a bad pass or just Rashford? I think he thought Bruno was getting that, didn't he?
Yeah,
And
the
just left
communication's not been great, has it? Because the first goal obviously is a breakdown in communication between Garnacho and Rashford and who's going to collect the run, and then that just felt like, well, whose is it? Is it Bruno's? Is it Rashford's? Oh, it's Tottenham throw.
Yeah. I'm going to win that.
You're right there.
Ethan just choking behind the camera.
Just joking.
Yeah, just.
He's playing Who
What
Wants
do
to
you
Be a
make of,
Millionaire.
Porro, Ronnie.
I think he's shaky defensively, but he's a decent player.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good going
Technically
forward and
decent,
technically.
isn't he?
Yeah.
There's a pass on there.
Yeah, need a bit of width.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
Fucking hell, man. Garnacho there with just the sort of pass I'd do if I was trying to go back to my defender. Or it's just 10 yards wide of where it was meant to be. United last couple of minutes just getting on the
this is
ball
a
a bit
matchup
more.
that I like.
Get in the box,
Oh.
Xerxes. Get in the box.
Go on.
Unlucky.
Yeah, it's a matchup I like, but that defended pretty well by Porro.
Yeah. There's 3 of them on Rashford as well, though, which doesn't help.
And I think Porro just eased him out, innit?
I mean, he can't really cut back there with the players there.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
yeah, good. They had cover as well.
Yeah. Go on then. You've got the nudge. That was good there for Marcus. Stay with him.
Oh my God.
That's all right.
Don't mind it. Actually, don't mind. Actually, don't
on the
mind it.
halfway
do you know what I
line,
mean?
giving
Just-
away a foul with no yellow. I don't mind that. Especially how they've started.
Yeah.
Just managed to slow them down last couple of minutes, get on the ball a little bit more, but need to turn it into something.
Yeah, maybe get a shot off.
Yeah, the game was so hectic in the first 5-10 minutes. It's sort of slowed down a little bit.
Sahar Shetty saying there needs to be a serious question asked about the training and preparation the side goes through. We cannot play around a press, always second best in intensity. Standards need to be better. I agree with that. David says, Tommy Took, save us please. 10 excuses is shy. Love that. Jacob Weinstein.
Come on.
One sec.
Who?
Go on.
On the super chat.
Oh!
It's a poor ball.
This is what we planned for, innit? The counter when they
This
give
is
it
what
away.
we want.
Come on, Garnacho.
What you got,
Come
lad?
on, mate. Come on, do something nice.
Whoops.
Go on.
Didn't need the touch. Didn't need the touch.
Oh, leave me. He
fuck
fell over.
off.
He fell
Why are you
over.
giving a handball for that? When he's
He didn't
falling
mean
over,
to,
isn't
did
that
he?
the whole point? When your hands touching the floor to stop you from falling over, that isn't a handball. Jacob Weinstein says, sat on my couch 3,500 miles away and I feel like I'm the only one communicating. Do they talk to each other out there? Like you said, Joe, there's been the lack of that, definitely. Dylan Byrne says, we've seen the same thing every week for 2 years and you still refuse to place any manager on the blame after he's spent 600 million. Joke. Okay. Cool. I think I do. I assume he's talking to me. I do place a lot on the manager. I agree about the preparation and the intensity and stuff that Sahar said before. The fact that we've started off the boil and off the pace at home.
How are they just... It's just like everything's just not falling our way. And I know that's obviously stupid to say, but it feels like everything's just...
Space it.
Fuck off. Oh my God!
Johnson's hit the inside
Hit
of
the
post.
post. Fuck that.
How are they giving that?
Oh my God.
So, I always worry about Johnson because he shoots early. Like
Yeah.
people like him, they do these like half-yard snapshots, like go through players' legs and that, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think he's a decent player, Johnson. He's a bit of a standard kind of decent winger. He don't do much that's unusual or unorthodox, but in terms of like knocking it, running, doing the right things, getting the ball, having a shot, he's actually quite good. Luckily, he's missed there though. But again, we had that on the side, on the right hand side, where it was Mazraoui
Very
with
injury-prone,
a
you
sort
doggy,
of,
innit?
yeah, Mazraoui with a kind of 50-50 and he lost it. De Ligt with a 50-50 and the ball just went sort of past him. Keeps happening, doesn't it?
Jed Spence.
Bloody hell.
Udogie coming off's good though, because
Yeah. Jed Spence.
tough matchup against Garnacho. Jed Spence, I'm not gonna lie, he's not a bad player, but he's not Udogie.
No.
He gets injured a lot though, it feels like.
He's kind of got that sort of like body style that does tend to get injured a bit though, doesn't he?
Yeah, I feel like
You know, the Van der Ven, Højlund
I feel like he
kinda.
gets like a muscle injury every few months.
Yeah. Isn't it weird that like if you're big and I know he's not massive, but like you tend to just get injured more. Like the Højlund types get injured more than the Bruno types, just generally. Like being small and skinny is just a benefit in terms of longevity.
A lot of it is just a lot of it actually is like quite genetic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess you get more muscle to tear on you.
But probably that must be part of it. But yeah, certain players just can't. Like
Maybe
Reece
this
James.
stoppage gives us a little bit of a time to regroup.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Was he coming off or not?
I don't know.
10 men. Can we exploit the 10 men? I always like, I always wondered, can you know that little minute or so you get where the team has 10 men, can you exploit it?
It's got to be a bonus.
Yeah. There'll be few.
Can you exploit it?
Inside.
Come on. Oh, here we go.
Oh my
fucking hell, man!
Fuck. This is what I mean, like, couldn't we exploit it when it's 10 men?
For fuck's sake! Why is he always fucking stretching for everything?
Is
that a bad pass? Or it feels like every time Zirkzee has a shot, he's not. He just don't connect properly.
Good pass.
It's not super easy, but
It's not super easy.
good
It's
save.
a good save, but it's straight at him.
I thought like, could we exploit it? Like,
That was
and literally
brilliant.
we exploited it straight away.
Yeah. Simple passes, good runs off the ball, simple passes, good move that from United. And looking dangerous last 10 minutes, or 5 minutes.
It looks like both teams are just ready to go for it.
Yeah, it
Score. Tottenham again. Fuck off.
Oh my
that's a
God.
Dangerous ball, that. Come on now.
Mazraoui having
You
a
can
bit
hear
of
Old
trouble on
Trafford
that
is
side.
fucking
That's a
fuming.
foul, ref. It's probably a booking
Get up,
as well.
get up,
actually.
get up, keep the pace. You can hear roars of Old Trafford there. They're not in for it. Oh, go on. Where's Garnacho?
See, they're so brave the way they just like
Tottenham.
stood like trying to play like almost an offside trap.
Yeah.
Playing an offside.
Oh,
It's
offside.
offside again.
You know, twice now, haven't we?
Indranil says, Ronnie and Wings Joe, I think it's you two.
Which one's me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, be positive please. Glory, glory, Man United. To be
What's he
fair,
called? Sorry.
Indranil Malik, which is a lovely name. That's not a foul.
That looked a bit soft. That
It did, didn't it?
just a big centre half getting tight, making him know he's there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Werner's had a little bit of decent joy against Mazraoui. I didn't have that on the bucket list.
Yeah, he's done well. Mazraoui looks like he's trying to sort of jog to encourage Werner to slow down. Do you know when like a fullback's like, this is the pace we're doing this interaction at, and the winger's like, no, I'm just sprinting. He's been caught a couple of times like that.
Yeah.
Ashley Young used to do that all the time. He'd go out to his winger really slow, thinking that the winger would match the pace he's brought, and instead they just knock it and go. Unfortunately, that's happening to Mazraoui today.
being very direct against him. Got
Yeah.
byline there, got away with it again.
That's all right. Good foul. That's worth a challenge there. Because if you win that, it's a chance. United have had 2 good chances. Certainly one. That Rashford one was a trickier one, but that Xerxes
one was interesting.
Just get lucky and just like it hit the foot, your ankle and hit the roof of the net rather than just dribbling toward the goal.
I've always thought that, like, you know, when a player's like waiting to come back on side and you've got the extra man, I'm like, you be a little bit more adventurous, just for that little passage, maybe exploit it. And I feel like we almost did.
We absolutely did. We passed through him, got into the box. We had an unmarked player. Go on.
Go on.
Oh!
Fucking hell.
It's just always a little bit of something.
Oh, lovely.
Fucking hell, lad.
Fucking hell.
Martinez, though, calm down a little. Why have we just kicked the ball back to him like that?
Yeah.
Good pressing, though. Good pressure
Yeah,
by
he was.
Ugarte.
Yeah, he won the ball back well. Xerxes there. If that ball's on target, then Rashford probably gets a chance. Keith Kelly with a super chat. This all or nothing style is not sustainable. Just sack him. All right.
Fucking hell.
Get him sacked. For the best. Get Southgate in instead.
Oh no.
Well, it's not all or nothing, it's just nothing.
Yeah.
You'd like Southgate, wouldn't you, Joe?
Would I fuck?
You're a big fan.
I don't like Southgate at all. I've been very vocal in that in pretty much everything I've been on.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Great defending.
Yeah, it was. Mazraoui there, really good. Proper defending, as they say. That
They're getting through the
ball,
sides there a little bit too easy, though,
I think
isn't it?
he might have been
It's
offside.
offside.
Yeah.
No, Mazraoui's to play him on.
Fucking hell.
But because he played him on, he could then stop the cross, so swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh.
He stopped a problem he caused.
Yeah. That's the David Luiz model, by the way.
Oh yeah, he used to
He
do
was
that
the
lot.
king of that. He'd make an unbelievable tackle because he's played everyone 10 yards on the side. But and then he'd be like getting up, fucking like screaming like that. And you think, mate, you started this. You gave the ball away.
He'd run back and do something last ditch.
Yeah, he's unbelievable at fixing his own shit.
David Luiz.
Yeah.
What
What a
did you
throwback.
did you
It's mad that
any
he's a
of
throwback now.
Yeah, sad.
any of you see the Phil Jones podcast he did recently?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
an
him.
interesting pod.
United struggling to keep the ball still. Go on,
No.
Ghana.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say that was floating a lot.
Fucking hell. Oh Jesus.
I'm not enjoying Garnacho's performance today at all so far.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't want to be negative, but I didn't expect him to have any joy against you, Doggy, as well.
Yeah, but
I
just
thought
on the
he-
ball,
do you
he's
know what I
been
mean?
sloppy, and when you're trying to play the ball out in this such tight, fine margins with Tottenham's press, I feel like Garnacho's first time passing and just his touches aren't as tight as Ahmad's. I know he's better over the top and in behind, but you know, like now, who I'd rather be receiving this ball from, either Mazraoui or De Ligt.
Oh my God.
God.
Ahmad.
Who's not chatting
Still it
there,
there.
talking?
God damn. De Ligt getting caught there. That's our ball, in it. Unless you're giving a free kick, that's our
I was
ball.
gonna say that was either a free kick or it's our throw-in.
You're a fucking idiot, ref. Mazraoui ran into their player
That
and their
happens a
player
lot.
kicked
That
the ball
happens a lot
out.
when someone's like challenges someone where it's like a borderline foul. But,
Yeah, they
but
sort
they've
of
not got
split
it.
the difference.
Yeah, they just give the throw-in. Yeah, they split the difference.
Like, oh, it wasn't enough for a foul, but
So we'll just give them the throw-in.
yeah, that was their player kicking the ball out, and Mazraoui tackled him late.
Because Mazraoui thought it was going to be a foul.
Yeah,
Oof.
hold on. Yeah, De Ligt's been a little bit sloppy on the ball today.
Yeah.
Who's on there? Yeah, nice. So this problem when you've got Dallo playing inverted there, you can't receive the ball
Yeah,
off the
width
wingers.
wise.
But then you can.
Okay.
God, that pass from Rashford's
That
not
is
quite good
not
enough,
a nice flow play. That here we go. Oh man,
Well,
they keep getting in really
You know,
great.
did that not go out?
They keep getting
I
in
was
really
praying
great
they'd
positions too quickly. Oof. Right,
dear.
all right.
Well done, that's our ball. That's ours. Poor ball from Rashford there. Do you know when you're trying to play that? You have to get out of the press. You're flicking it around the corner and running
Yeah,
off the ball.
Delo could have done better there though.
He could, but if the ball's to his feet, you don't need to. Has he had a hair transplant, Madison? Do you think?
Dunno. Looks good if he does. If he has had one.
Yeah. It's on the cusp,
Get
isn't it?
number for him. Here we go.
Nice.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that was lovely.
Nice.
Now who you got?
Oh,
My God. The low's having a stinker, by the way.
They all
Low is having a bit of a stinker, yeah. Out of positioning, giving the ball away. I don't know.
Been a rough 30 minutes, this.
Yeah. It's not
Just
one for the history books
so
anyway.
mistake prone. Ten Hag's there.
And it feels like everything's falling the other way.
Yeah.
The balls are hitting out of play. It feels like they're all over. It's like a fucking... What the fuck? We can't get out of our own half. Oh!
Shocking.
Oh! It feels like fucking... like a little nightmare. Like we're caught in this sort of rut.
What are we saying here then? Any changes at half time? Maybe an Eriksson, someone who can actually play out from the back. Ahmad maybe.
Yeah.
Even a Casemiro, just someone who's got that ball playing ability from deeper, or I don't know. What do we think? Let me know in the comments. Are you making any changes at half time? Assuming it stays at 1-0.
Did the...
What's up?
Got the... you know that mad cold shiver that you get sometimes?
Yeah.
I just jolted then.
That's just a
Oh my
shit
God,
pass
he's giving it
from
away
Dallo
again.
again. It's just a shit
They're all
pass.
lining up here one by one. See who fancies it.
We've got... Our best bet is punishing the fact that Tottenham aren't finishing the game. We got away with that. Kulusevski passing the ball there. Not shooting instead of passing it.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Rashford's got to stay with his man there.
Oof. Oh, they seem to just have a great flow of passing about them. They can just spread the ball and we just look like we're just like lost. Go on, that's nice. And then we get the ball back, we win the ball back, and then we're struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
give
Bob, give it away.
Again.
It's like, oh my God. It's
For
like,
fuck's sake, boot it long if you have to. Don't just give it him back.
Now Tottenham just in an easy, in our third, just fucking about with it.
Oh my God.
Oh, just fucking loads of space. Everyone wants in. Everyone's going to have a shot on target by the end of this game.
Oh my God.
Oh, nice corner.
Akshmeet Singh says, "Goddamn guys were so bad. It's so bad. Simple mistakes. Stop the one-touch careless passes for God's sake." Yeah, it's shocking. It is shocking.
It's
and
quite
this sort of performance is worse than just. I mean, obviously, if it ends 3-0, that's a different thing as well. But a late 1-0 loss again when we've played well. We're awful today.
It feels quite
Completely incapable of playing out from the back.
It feels quite not a very toxic environment to bring in your new signings in at home. Just bit disgruntled by the team. You're 1-0 down. You've got the lit there trying to get everyone going. The guy's been in our team for a few weeks and he's trying to build everyone up. You've got a Xerxes,
Fucking get out!
Oh my God.
Oh my
I thought
God.
that went in. I thought that went in there. Romero almost scored a fucking overhead kick.
What? So slow to get out to the ball.
Yeah. And they're just winning every second ball, every header.
I'd have been, my jaw would have been on the floor if that went in.
Yeah.
And it was.
It looked like I thought
away.
it was in. I thought it went in.
Oh
my God.
And guess what? They've got the ball
Is that a
back.
red? Is he going to get sent off for this?
Is he?
I hope.
Yellow.
Who was it?
Every
Sorry,
time they show a replay, they cut back and Tottenham won the ball back.
Yeah. But yeah.
Every single time.
What
It's like the
TV?
TNT.
That's right. Let's see. Oof. So
not that
Bruno
one,
has
it's
a go
this
at him.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
not
red.
that bad. It's not that
It's
bad.
a yellow.
It's alright. Just.
I mean, like, I might be biased, but I mean that's literally only just about.
Yeah. He goes past him with
Because
most
I
of
thought
it.
it looked worse on first viewing. I was kind of shook because the last thing I know frustration. You want to show a bit of bite. You want to show a bit of needle about you. But last thing I want is someone doing some daft challenge
If
and
we
getting
concede,
down to 10 men.
if it's a red card, we're fucked. You're probably 3 or 4.
Well, what? I mean, we don't speak about the Tottenham game where they battered us. It was 6-1 in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, after Martial
And
got
we
sent
were
off.
down 10 men.
Yeah.
We just got absolutely battered. That was lockdown though, so we don't bring
Now
it
what?
up.
Now what? Now what? God's sake.
Oh my God! I literally every single one of their players might have a shot on goal by the end of this game.
They're just like you said, Ronaldo. They're sprinting more than we are. They're running more than we are. Whenever we get the ball, we want to do this slow.
Oh my
like,
God!
There you go, mate. They're just
Oh my
running off the
God!
ball,
No,
making passes. Like now, what we
Come
got?
on!
What we got here?
I don't know what he can do against.
Come on!
What a ball that is. That's brilliant play from Garnacho.
Brilliant. Now what?
Sucker
Now what?
punch.
Now what?
Need
Now
the sucker
what?
punch.
Come on.
I don't mind it.
That's all right.
we somehow be able to suck the life out of any attack.
A little bit of possession is not a bad thing.
Go
That's
on.
a shit pass, though. That's a shit pass.
Trouble. Who's in the stands? New
Go through the whole capacity.
got Ashworth, Brada,
Just say Ineos.
Ineos are there. Trouble.
What are you doing here?
God.
Hold on. I
Nice
thought he
one.
was going to just mess that up there. A little bobbled pass that didn't quite get to the keeper.
Trouble.
Nice. What? It's the pass after this that we're struggling with. It's that Fred and McTominay thing where the defenders have never got a pass on. Although that's...
The thing is, the fullbacks can maybe get in behind them, but the reason why it works is because this is what you do with recruitment. Tottenham generally have recruited where they play this kind of gun-ho high line, but Romero, Udogie and Van der Ven are very athletic.
Yeah.
So they can almost make up the difference if they get caught out, especially Van der Ven. Van der Ven's kind of the cheat code for them.
Yeah.
You know.
In these circumstances, we do always seem like we are down a man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though we've got...
What a ball! What a pass!
Come on! Oh! We never seem to just be in the right position at the right time.
It's always
Tottenham
just
seems to fall.
Not... Oh my God, the Lick's having a fucking shitter today.
Oh,
That's
it's
not
not
bad,
even
that's
a
not bad,
foul.
it's not bad,
Get
it's
the
not bad.
fuck up.
Nah, you don't get
Get
that.
him!
Nah, he wasn't going to get that. You don't get those.
Oh!
Great pass.
Good ball.
Come on.
Seems to be great at firing the ball. It's just the last third. Oh, God.
It's alright, keep it. It's this pass here
You
that
just,
we've been
seem
struggling
to,
with.
you just always
Yeah.
seem to double up in time, innit?
Yeah.
Go on. Oh, what a...
Nearly.
Better though. Better from United. That switch has made us chances 3 times in a row now.
Oh,
Garnacho hits the post there.
Great connection on
Yeah,
it.
it is.
He did well, Garnacho.
Yeah, he catches it so well.
Oh, fucking
Outside
hell.
of the post. If that's in, the keeper's not saving that because he don't even see that.
He hit that so well.
He did. Stay with him. Fucking pass is brilliant there. Come on.
Oh,
That's alright. That's alright. That's
Don't
alright.
mind.
Because if they make that pass around the corner, they've got 3-on-3 there.
The best thing for us now is that we've kept this game at 1-0 because if we can get a goal before our time, anything can happen.
Keep it at 1-0, we're always in it, and don't concede before half as well.
Trouble.
Keith Kelly says, lads, I appreciate everything. I appreciate you staying positive, but surely you can't put up with this anymore. P.S. I know just sacking him isn't going to solve everything.
Yeah, but the game's not finished yet, is it? We've got 90 minutes.
Let's see what happens. James Stewart says, anyone for a game of charades? I'm up for that.
Yeah. Go on.
Van der Ven, but
What are you gonna
you just
do?
turn
You're not
away. You
knocking
just
it
turn
past
around.
him,
a
are
bit,
you?
yeah.
Oh, that is
Stupid
bad.
It's a stupid pass from Garnacho because it's got
Come
literally...
on!
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
who is there? Fucking hell!
Werner was
See what Onana
never.
did
Werner
there
was
as well?
never.
We
scoring
were-
that. He was
we
never
were
scoring
great
that, was
See
he?
what Onana did, which he
Yeah.
always does. He just went. He took a step to his left as Werner was hitting it. Which in this case, this is what I always talk about with Onana. He goes so fucking early that in this case it saved him a shot. But if Werner was Mbappe there, he opens his body up, cuts back onto his.
Oh, I'm gonna
and
throw
scores.
Nah,
everything out the window.
the low might have to come off.
Delon might have to go off. He
Delon's
might get
having
sent
an
off.
absolute stinker.
Delon is having a shocker. He's
Bruno just barging into the ref.
He literally is the worst player on the pitch. Oh my god, he's not even just barging into him, he's clattering him. His head.
Where does a barge and a clatter? What's
A little bump to bum, that's a
bump-
barge.
bump-
When your hands are on his head, that's a clatter.
It's a clatter.
Oh my god.
Shocking from Werner, that.
Man, it's crazy, that. Oh.
See what I mean? Onana just takes a step to his left because he's so expecting Werner to open his body up. He could have gone past him easily there. But Onana read it, did the right thing.
It is.
Because he's always trying to read the game a step in advance. That's why FC20 scored an easy goal at the near post the other day, because he thought they were going back post. He just guesses and goes early. He's like the opposite of De Gea, who waits and just does it in the moment, and sometimes that makes you look stupid as well. Because
oh my God, everything. Oh,
hold on,
crikey. Oh. It's just fucking...
It's the absolute pinball carnage.
It is.
Wankfest.
Carnage wankfest. Apart from it's just Tottenham that are doing all the wanking.
Yeah. United had a couple of chances, didn't we, before, but this half has been like just all of the worst bits of last season. Massive gaps in midfield. The quality of the passing from United in this half
has been shocking.
Has been absolutely
got something up their sleeves here, by the way.
Abysmal.
Oh.
The quality of the passing has been abysmal from Man United. The 5 and 10 yard passes that have gone awry, gone astray.
Shit.
That's a good tackle. Is absolutely unbelievable. Like
what is going on?
Why are you running past play like we're going to do a counter attack? We ain't got the ball yet. That's what happened against Brighton.
What's going on?
Win that, and we go. Now we go. Now we can counter attack.
Go on. Oh man, we are struggling. Oh fucking hell.
The thing is, on the break, like Bruno, he's great passing, but he doesn't have any like pace to get away.
No. Need to keep the ball for a minute.
40 minutes.
Do your best to not give it to Dallo for the next 5 minutes.
Oh!
Okay, no.
We're diving in.
Oh wow, he might get. Oh, he might be gone for that.
No, he slipped over, didn't he? Sure.
Oh. Yeah, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Fucking hell.
I knew it.
Bruno's been sent off.
I saw it straight away.
Oh, he's in my fantasy team as well.
Yeah,
that's what matters. Sorry, Joe.
I don't give a fuck about that. Sorry,
fucking hell.
Well, they look at it.
Yeah.
Is it bad?
He looked.
Is it bad?
I feel like he slipped.
No, it's more. It's not even about the.
Is he in control?
It's the fact he's not going for the ball. It's the fact he's not going for the ball.
Oh, that's a harsh red.
That's not a red card.
That's not a red. He's got to look at that.
It's the outside of Bruno's boot touches it.
Are they going to look at it?
It's not studs. It's on his shin. It's not high above his neck. It's shin, and it's the outside of his foot. Right, it's not a red.
He didn't make enough contact for it to be a red.
That's not a red. But he trips him with his foot.
It's not a good challenge, though.
It's not a good challenge, but that isn't a red card. That's not a red card.
It's not a red card, though.
It isn't a red card.
It's a yellow.
So what are they looking at it now?
They look at everything. That isn't a red.
Bruno,
no way is that a red.
Is it done?
It's not just under knee high, Gary Neville, you fucking idiot. It's halfway up his shin, which isn't your knee, is it? That's it's stupid by Bruno. But that's not a red card, surely. Fucking absolute twat, Bruno Fernandez. What the fuck?
It's gone from bad to worse. Oh, who's the captain now? Mazraoui. He's done well, hasn't he?
Surely it's not Mazraoui. Surely it's Martinez.
Oh.
Fuck now.
This feels.
Let's try. It's just try and not lose 4-0 now.
Yeah, fuck me. I told you he's got weird glimpses of the 6-1. Down to 10 men. Tack a player off. Bruno's done.
That is not
straight
a red.
That's
card,
3 games gone.
That's not a straight red card. I'm sorry. It just isn't. It's not even a studs on shin either. It's shin. It's not any. It's not like near his knee like Gary Neville said.
Doing?
When the actual contact happens, it's halfway up his shin, not on his knee. It's the outside of Bruno's foot. It's not. He don't even get in with his studs. By the time his foot gets there, it's the outside of his foot hits Maddison's shin. How is that a red?
Mainu's off for
Bruno,
Mount.
he doesn't dive into it. He's lunging, but he's stepping across. That's just shit. It's not a red card.
That one red card as well. It's just changed everything. Mainu's coming off. Mount's going on. So is Mainu coming off because of injury? Yeah, it looks like he's explaining to Casemiro and to Anthony something, which doesn't look good.
Mainu's come off.
Mainu looks like he's hurt himself bad.
Does he?
Well, I don't know why. What would he be explaining to Casemiro and Anthony?
What do you mean?
Well, he was explaining his injury.
Who was, sorry?
Mainu was explaining his injury to Casemiro and Anthony.
Oh,
so
right.
Mainu's come off and Mount's gone on. So what's the midfield now? You got him, Mount.
We've got to be enough. I need to make them.
Yeah, that's fine. He's finally got for it.
What?
1-0.
Let's just get to half time now and we can talk about how shit we are for
What I
20
will
minutes.
say, because I want to let's be positive. If there's any team that you can salvage a point against with 10 men, it's someone like Spurs.
Yeah.
I will
What are you
say
talking about?
it's true, innit?
Yeah,
Like,
but
the
not
way-
this Spurs.
Yes, this Spurs.
Not this Spurs that have just been all over us for 45 minutes.
They'll still be open.
Not this Spurs.
I
Surely
think-
you can't see. It's not been an even game until now.
Yeah, but I think United will still get opportunities. It's just about we need to defend better. Is the main problem.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 5 minutes of added time, that's all we need as well, isn't it? Fucking add it all up. Fucking hell. Any of those M&M's left, Ethan, to cheer me up? Yeah. Well, half time. We'll wait till half time.
Nice.
God, don't get sent off as well.
I think your guy's got a screw loose, you know.
Also, we need to keep an eye on Delo as well, because Delo's on a yellow. It might be.
Yeah. Who's booked for that?
Who's booked what? Who?
Brennan Johnson, I think, just got booked for just being a bit of a pain in the arse.
Got some Slim Shadies there.
What you got?
Some M&M's for half time.
Very nice. Very nice.
keep us cheerful. You know what I mean? It's fucking gonna be an
Come on.
absolute slug this
Yeah, it's gonna be
second
horrible.
half, innit?
If we get a draw out of this, I'll be so happy.
The best thing
I
we
would
can
be
do is keep it
I would
to
be
1-0.
stunned if we got a draw. The likelihood is it's 2 or 3-0. That's the most likely thing, yeah.
I think that we didn't talk about him too much in the build-up, but Fernandez had a lot on him today, didn't he? In terms of
the last thing he needed was a straight red card.
people were talking about him. He was being asked in the someone's got a pressure on them when they talk about him. The press ask Ten Hag questions about him in the build-up. We had quotes on that today. I just felt there was a little bit too much on him today, and to get sent off, fucking hell. The only thing that could be positive is that he has 3 games off. And if he does need any form of mental break, then he can take it, because he's just been relentless.
Get up, you fucking dickhead! And he just been
Second
booked.
booking.
And that dickhead just been booked about 10 seconds ago, and now he's diving. Or did he go over for what? He didn't give a free kick. What is it then? If he's tripped him over, it's a penalty, and if it isn't, it's a dive. It wasn't like a shoulder to shoulder, was it? Fuck off. What, the red? They did?
Well, Brennan penalty.
Brennan Johnson. What, are they checking it for a penalty or
Yeah,
for
they checked
a
it.
second yellow?
Not for a second yellow. They don't check for yellows.
But if it's a red, can you not check for a yellow? If you know what I mean?
No.
If it would be a second yellow, they still can't check for it.
No.
Well, that's fucking stupid, isn't it? As is that.
We look like a fucking mess.
Fuck you.
Can tell the players' heads have gone as well.
Yeah. They'd gone after fucking 2 minutes. That's good. Good stuff. Does it count if Maddison tackles Maddison? What? If they're the same person, so technically, can you get booked for fouling yourself? Mount and Maddison are the same player.
Half
They're different players.
Mount's already on a yellow.
Sort of same thing,
Madison's more technical.
But on the pitch 2 minutes, that's great, yeah.
When he was at Chelsea and Maddison was at Leicester, in my head they were exactly the same player.
I think Mount's more like dynamic in terms of like physically.
Yeah.
Running, but Maddison's like much more technical.
Yeah.
I think they're different players.
Would you just mean because they look the same?
They look the same, similar age, similar position,
Madison.
similar build, similar word.
No.
Offside shot. I'm going to start getting really desperate with my shouts. But
Yeah.
Yeah. We just need. Oh man, they got so much space now. How much time are we allowing?
We can't be worrying about that when we're down to 10 men. How much time we're allowing is like the last thing on the menu now. It's just don't concede anymore. And if we get the ball, try to manufacture something. They're going to have all of the ball now and all of the chances. We need to get really lucky in that they missed their chances.
How many games has Bruno missed for that?
3, isn't it?
3. Straight red's 3.
So what? That's Villa.
How is out like?
And
who
the
the
next
fuck?
two.
What are we doing here?
Ah!
What are we doing? Where Brennan Johnson can take a torch, knock it inside Dallo, knock it inside the other midfielder, and we just can't get near him. We can't get near any of their players.
Jesus.
I mean, then they've got a fucking Van der Ven on a Harley Davidson at the back, so we can't get past it.
Yeah.
He is quick.
He's
isn't
literally he's actually on a Harley Davidson.
He is.
Basically, is.
He's on a.
He's
He's
so
on a
quick.
He's one of those where
motorbike.
he's got a bit of the Kyle Walker where he relishes the opportunity to show that he's
Like
like
he didn't
miles
really need
quicker
to
than
boot that.
I
I mean,
mean,
did it?
yeah.
But
He loves being all fast, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does
Yeah,
it.
but I would
Like
try
Alexander
fast.
Arnold with that crossfield fucking bollocks that he does every game. He loves his big old pass.
If I was fast,
Van der
I'd
Ven
love
loves
running.
being quick. Half time then, Manchester United 0, Tottenham 1, down to 10 men. Disastrous performance, awful. United are shit. Everything that we feared has come true. Joe McGrath, thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, I think obviously it was an unfortunate way to kick off a game of football by scoring, by conceding literally after 2 minutes. It was then pretty much like there were some good moments for Man United, but we were very sloppy in our possession. Tottenham just like they were all over us. I think the best thing United have done is kept it to 1-0 because at one point they could have, they've hit the post, chances missed. I bet their XG is phenomenally high. Man United, we've had some decent opportunities. Xerxes had a good chance. Garnacho nearly scored. He hit the post with an absolutely wonderful attack with a great ball from Rashford. So I wouldn't say in front of goal we've been very weak, but we're just not getting that clinical sort of get the ball in the back of the net. Second half's going to be an absolute slug because Fernandez is sent off and fuck knows what he's going to do. But like Ronnie said, if you think we're going to get anything against anyone with 10 men, it probably is Tottenham. But I think we're looking at like a 2-3-0.
Yeah, in my head, the idea that we're gonna not lose this game is fantasy. I can't. It's literally how many do we lose by? And if it's 1, I'm not obviously going to be happy, but I'll be surprised and positively surprised. Like we'll go through the first half, but go on, Ronnie.
I don't have actually that much to say. I just think that was an absolute embarrassment.
Yeah,
that first half, and if you're a United player and then you've got 75,000 fans, you've got fans that have come out to watch he's perform like that. That's absolutely unforgivable. That was shocking. Just never looked ready from the get-go. No. Players giving up, players throwing the towel in, making stupid decisions, throwing their arms about. Don't think anyone takes accountability for anything, and I don't know, we've been absolutely schooled there. And we talked about how people saying against Palace our first 60 was probably some of the best football we've seen under Erik Ten Hag. I'd say that first half probably is up there with the worst half of football that I've ever seen from a Manchester United team, and I'd say it's probably one of the worst halves of football we've seen under Ten Hag, and that's actually saying something with some of the halves that we've had under.
I can't see what that dressing room was like right now.
I can't imagine it. Imagine being in there.
I also don't know what the combination of who we've got, the combination of players that look like quite quiet, the combination of new signings that, I don't know, they could be still quite finding the feet of the club. The fact that your captain's just been sent off, it feels like Ten Hag, does he inspire them when he gets in the dressing room? It feels like I can't picture myself inside that dressing room right now.
Let's stick with Ten Hag, because this is the sort of performance that takes a massive chunk out of your job security. Like, there's drawing to Palace when you look decent, as I've said, and I thought we did play well in that game. There's this, that and the other. You end up in 11th place after 5 games, and you come out at Old Trafford against a beatable Tottenham side, who are 10th, by the way. They're not Tottenham of last season where they've started with 9 wins in a row. This is a Tottenham on the same points as we are, and we get dismantled by them. That is completely unforgivable. And the manager has to be able to set his team up in a way where they don't look faster and stronger and sharper and more up for it than us. At home, against a team that, like I just said, is beatable. They've won 3 of their last 15 away games, Tottenham. They don't do this to everyone. The fact that we can go out in such a big game and basically fucking phone it in is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment for the players, and it's an embarrassment for the manager, who can't get them to do anything different. And if he is going to get sacked, it's going to be performances like this, where everything's on the line. You've got a perfect team to play against, because you get credit for beating Tottenham because they're decent, but they're beatable. and you come out and look 2 or 3 levels below them. Not just in terms of quality, but in terms of effort. Like you were saying, Ronnie, every time they get the ball, they're sprinting and we're jogging. They look more physical, quicker, sharper than us. They've got basically one midfielder in Bentancur, and they've got 5 attackers around him. And yet they're dominating the midfield in terms of passing, in terms of work rate. They've got people like Maddison and Werner who are good players, but they are
we're making them look like
world class. They're playing a little 1-2 on the edge of the box and they're through on goal. Like, what is that?
There's so much to say. Like as I said, Delow's my boy, but Delow was absolutely horrific in that first half. But I could say that about a lot of them. Just giving the ball away as soon as we get it. Do you know what? It's cliche. We talk about effort, and you talk about work rate, and you talk about desire, and how that can be such a massive equaliser when you've got better quality than other opponents, or if you've got better physicality than other opponents. But playing against a Tottenham side where that isn't the case, where from the get-go, Tottenham look to be a side that's stronger, fitter, their players look faster. So to overcome that, you need to put in more effort, you need to work hard, and then you need to be technically good when you get it, and then we've been none of that. So if you combine not showing enough effort, not working hard enough, not showing enough pride for the badge you're wearing, and then the team's actually physically better than you anyway, that's what you get. You get I don't care that it's only 1-0 down. We could go on to draw this, because I feel like if there's one team that you can end up shit house in a result 10 minutes, it's a Tottenham Hotspur side.
Yeah.
But regardless of that performance there was absolutely diabolical.
And the first goal sums it up, because we play the ball out from the back. Bruno, nice ball up to Garnacho, lays it off to Rashford, and it's a heavy touch from Rashford that is then kind of misinterpreted by Garnacho, who probably should have gone for it. But the only reason he should have gone for it is because we know what happens afterwards.
It got intercepted.
Garnacho laid it off to Rashford.
No, I mean the initial Bruno pass was got intercepted by Udogie, and Udogie did a heavy touch.
Yeah.
And then it went to Rashford.
Oh, sorry, I thought Garnacho laid it off. Anyway,
look. Do you know what I mean? It got intercepted.
Okay, close, whatever.
But
then, from that point there, Van der Ven's got a corridor to run through, and no one is either quick enough, sharp enough, mentally alert enough, or just cares enough to take the ball off him. We don't get across him, no one steps into him, no one gets him for a tackle, no one puts a shoulder on him. It's just a gap through the middle. He's sprinting and we're jogging. And when you're jogging and going the other way, you're going to get skinned. But it's basic stuff. Dallow's nowhere near his man. But looking at the let me just look at the passing, some of the numbers on the passing. The top passers, the people who've made the most passes in this game, United and Tottenham, are Romero, Van der Ven, Bentancur, Maddison, Vicario and Porro. The top 6 most passes in this team, in this game, are Tottenham players. Completely dominating the ball. They've had 63% possession, 12 shots on target, 12 shots to our 3, only 4 on target, but only to United's 2 as well. 3 big chances as well for Tottenham. Like, it's just a disgusting performance from United. And honestly, this is more damaging to the manager, I think, than most performances. This is the sort of thing where you go, this was I don't want to say a tapping because Tottenham are good, but this was the perfect game for you to kind of show what you're about. And this isn't it. We've got loads of super chats. Let me just get into some of these. Jacob Weinstein, who's a member, thank you for joining. Desamo says, Ten Hag needs to go. No more toxic positivity, please. I mean,
it's not toxic.
Just the concept of toxic positivity is just madness. And also, it's not for the sake of it. Today we've been awful, and I'm quite happy to say we've been awful, and the manager has a big responsibility in that. Not because he's misplacing 10-yard passes or 5-yard passes, but because we thought Tottenham were going to be jogging about, giving us a load of time on the ball, and we've been surprised by the fact that one of the most front-foot, high-pressing teams in the league has been front-foot and high-pressing.
I'd say, we're looking back at a red card as well there, I'm just disappointed that... I'm disappointed. Obviously, we'll have a debate if it was or not, but the fact that Bruno goes for it, and he kind of can see in those instant moments afterwards, the camera's pointing on him, you can see his face, he sort of understands what he's done. And there was a lot on Bruno today, and I feel quite sorry for Bruno in a way, because he's worked as hard as any other player. Like, he's played more games for the club than anyone. He's always gives 100%, but recently 100% is not good enough, because I think maybe he's tired mentally, physically, and that sort of is the combination of it all, the combination of the pressure, the combination of, the pundits starting to analyse him and see if he's good enough for United. at the time being, and for them to just for sort of a lash out, a silly mistake, a poor judgment as the captain of Man United. Didn't need it.
No.
And back in the day, if there was captains of Man United like Vidic or Keane, whatever,
who never got sent off.
Yeah, no, who could get sent off. They knew there was leaders and stuff in the squad. Whereas I look at our team now, and I think we needed Bruno more than ever.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it was never a good thing when captains get sent off, but when you're filled with great leaders, I mean, Roy Keane gets sent off. There was Neville there. Vidic could get sent off. There was Ferdinand there. We had great, strong leaders. Yeah. I think we needed Bruno more than anything today.
Me too.
And he's gone.
Jan Ingehoff, who's been a member for 45 months, thank you very much, says commentator in Norway says it's not a red. Or they're a commentator in Norway, not sure. Relevant says, I'd admit it, guys, Ten Hag doesn't know what he's doing. Parag says it's starting to feel like the end is near for our manager. Performances like this, I think, go a long way towards that. This is a really damaging performance for Ten Hag. Midto Kamara says, if it wasn't for bad luck, we wouldn't have any at all. It's been like this since Sir Alex left, like a sinking ship. Plug one hole and another appears. It does feel like that, doesn't it? And that's a little bit maybe, feeling sorry for ourselves. But you mentioned before the game, Joe, there does feel like, I don't want to say a curse because that's just pathetic, but there's like you get one thing right, and then that's broken. You plug that one, now there's a hole, just like you said there. It's just awful, isn't it? You can't sort of do right for doing wrong at United at the moment. We've got a few more super chats, loads more actually. Rayner says, this exact performance has been happening for almost 2 years now. People who will still support this manager deserve this. I mean, the whole deserve thing is just fucking stupid. Because do you know who supports this manager? The only people who count, which is Ineos and the ownership at Man United. It's nothing to do with fans or me or anyone here saying that we don't think we should sack the manager yet. That plays no role in how we play, in whether he keeps his job or not. So in terms of people deserving it, it doesn't make a difference what you think. Because if he's going to get sacked, he's going to get sacked. No one deserves it. No one's making it worse. No one's adding to it. If the ownership don't like him, they'll sack him. And that's literally all there is to it. The Collective AU says, are people in the comments pretending that's a red? Some are. I don't think that's a red at all. It's the contact isn't studs. It's not straight leg. He hasn't dived in. It's an extended leg that is slightly higher on the shin than you'd like, and he slipped.
You know what the funny thing is? People are saying he slipped, which is true. I think the slip was what was actually maybe going to save him.
Yeah.
Because I think before Bruno even slipped, his intention was to do Maddison. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Frustrated, getting bopped off the park. You saw a few loose challenges. Bruno gave the ball away. I think he wanted to do Maddison.
Yeah, he wanted to stop him.
But he didn't get the contacts that he wanted because he slipped. And I thought, oh shit. It was a daft challenge in hindsight.
He was trying to take yellow one.
But we might get away with it. I think Bruno probably went for more of like, he wanted to leave something on him. But when I looked at the replay, I don't think there was enough contact for that to be a red card.
No, I don't. And also, his leg is like across his body.
And I don't think you
can...
No
weight behind it.
I don't think you can judge... I don't think you can penalise or give reds for trying to judge intent.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you can't really quantify, can you?
No.
But... to me, I still think it was a really daft challenge because it did feel like Bruno wanted to try and do Maddison but slipped and didn't make proper contact, which makes it a yellow. But I just think the whole trying to make that challenge was daft anyway, because we saw a similar one go our way against Southampton.
Yeah, and which was a worse tackle than that. And I said to that one that I didn't think
you didn't think it was.
I
remember you saying you didn't think it was.
So
red. Yeah.
Even if I'm being biased, I'm at least consistent with it. Philip Owen says, we are not worthy to be in the Premier League. Genuinely, I see sides at the bottom play better. Disgraceful. James Stewart says, Rennie Harker screams income into that dressing room. Yeah, let's hope so. Sam Zed said, this season, Ten Hag got a near full fit squad, no excuses. I don't think anyone's making excuses for what we've seen today. No. That's one thing I will say. No one's sitting here making excuses for that. Absolutely horrendous performance, and the manager has to take a good portion of that blame for sure. The fact is, we set up as a low block at home against a vulnerable Spurs team. They've ripped us apart. It's sadly on Ten Hag. We are clueless.
I think it's going to be so interesting to see what happens now in terms of if it stays like this and we get beat. Ineos were very, it's been very public that Ineos were trying to find someone else to replace Erik Ten Hag, right? And because of the way that things felt last year, with circumstances last season, with circumstances being that, you know, managers didn't fit the bill or they didn't find the right person to replace Ten Hag, and Ten Hag goes on to win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
That's why we have got this season where he's still in charge. The board are there now. The board are watching this game. What's going through their minds right now? Are they going to want the first opportunity to get rid of the manager? We're going to see a lot about what the new owners or the new partial owners of Man United actually want with this club. If they want him to be gone straight away, then this is the perfect excuse for it. We're all angry as fans right now. This is the way that they could go, right, let's do it. Or do they have trust in him? We're about to see what Ineos really, truly want for the club.
Assuming this ends the way we think it will, which is some kind of loss for Man United, we're gonna see, because I think, you know, you look at a team like Chelsea under Abramovich, they're getting rid of Ten Hag tonight. Do you know what I mean? Whereas
I don't think
what are Ineos?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Plus, the crazy thing is we've not lost the game yet.
Exactly.
It's 10
Yeah,
men.
we've not lost
It is still possible to get a result. Do you know what I mean? It is still possible to get a result with 10 men against the Tottenham side.
Casemiro's coming on.
Because I know people might disagree. Tottenham are going to push for another one maybe.
Xerxes off. Right, so we're going all bloody hell.
And they will be open.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Ryan Carr, hey lads, it's 2:24 a.m. here in Australia. Been Ten Hag in for these 3 years, but this is it now, the start of the end. It does feel like it could be, doesn't it? Also, just a reminder, I know it's not to correct you, but more of a, you know, it's been 2 years and 6 games rather than 3 years. It feels like 3 years. Kev Rotherham, thank you for becoming a member. Starting to feel like Ollie's last few games, says Parag, as if the players have all given up. Today does feel like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does feel as though it's a different kind of performance from United, where you go, what's going on with these lads? Do they even give a fuck? Big second half this. Because a 1-1 is so different to a 2 or 3-0. I mean, it's only 1 point different, but it's a million miles away if United can somehow pull something out of the bag here. But I think the most likely scenario is we try and get a winner and they pick us off. We'll have to wait and see. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, everyone.
Andre Barbosa says, that's the worst 45 minutes I've watched in a while. We were passengers, second to every ball and duel. Feels like all the good work we've done has disappeared. It does. That felt like a last season kind of performance.
Oh.
Vicario coming out there. But keep pressuring anyway. Force him into something.
Was he onside there?
I think so. Good press from Tottenham.
Good play by Mazraoui.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, good ball. What a tricky 45 minutes. You don't know what's going to happen though.
Well done. That's what Casemiro can do quite well. When he gets it right. Nice. That's the worst 45 minutes I've watched in a while. We were passengers. Oh no, I've read that one. Alex says, watching United in the last 10 years makes me wonder if we'll ever be a top team again. Scary thing is, this is our best 11. These players just aren't good enough. Yeah, there's a lot going into this, isn't there?
I don't know. I mean, you know, I won't get too worried if we'd never be a good team again. Like, it's not like we're at the bottom half.
It's too easy, that. Casemiro just fucking nudged out the way there.
What was that?
Tottenham 2-0. Lucky fucking hell.
That was a fucking...
Shocking from Casemiro. Lovely little lucky bobble. Straight to Kulusevski. 2-0.
It was a jam.
There you go. That's the fucking
jamming
game
away
dead.
to him as well.
Dead.
Dead and buried. Right. Put something else on. Desperate Housewives or something.
Yeah, that's game over for me though. That's game over.
Yeah, it was game over anyway. But
there's no way we're scoring fucking 2.
No. We'd be surprised if we have 2 shots on target. Fucking hell. How's Casemiro just getting fucking nudged under the ball there?
Bullied him there, but bullied Casemiro there, and then Martinez.
Give that to
one of these fucking horrible days, isn't it? Just got to sit here and fucking take it as well now.
Why?
So easy that.
Do you want to see if Joe wants something?
I'm alright, I know they're there, thank you. And then this fucking cross, are you joking as well? De Ligt gets there, gets a tackle in.
Jamming away, it's got to him.
Bobbles perfectly to him. It's
that's
a
very good finish.
Fuck me. Laney says, still going to defend Ten Hag. Watch and find out.
Do you know what?
You can just watch and see what we say.
There's another little elephant in the room that I don't think we'd all like to talk about, but Martinez hasn't been really great this year.
No, he's not been as good.
At the start of the season. I think what we enjoyed from his first season was that desire.
if you can't pick out one player that's been really good, or more than one or two, I think that says something more about the actual whole structure and system of the team rather than individuals. You can't just, for me.
It feels significant.
The collective AU says Scholes saying Bruno is petulant, he slipped. Should be Eriksen for Manu get hold of the ball. Joshua Bowater says, that's gone for some reason. Sorry about that, Josh. It's just slipped to the bottom of the screen there. Go back and try and find it. Don't want it to be the case, but this feels like it could be the point of no return for the manager. Won't be immediate, but can't see him lasting. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that, unfortunately. Discombobulate says at least we have an identity now, and that identity is shite, which is great. We've had that identity for the last 10 years. At least we're consistent.
I think the question is, was this worth it?
What worth it?
This Ineos sort of 6-game experiment. If this is the end for Ten Hag.
What do you mean?
This is the 9th game, no?
Yeah, all right, but the Premier
Sixth League game.
Should they have just gone for it and just fucking?
I don't think he's getting sacked after today anyway.
No, I don't think he'll get sacked today. I
think the last thing Ineos wanted to do was do that.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing they wanted to do really was keep
as well.
Ten Hag.
Well, it wasn't the last thing they wanted to do. They wanted to do that more than they wanted to get Tuchel or, what's his name, Thomas Frank. There were things they wanted to do.
I think they'd rather stick than make a decision that make a managerial decision they weren't 100% about.
Yeah, which is fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was smart.
Rather than bringing a new manager in that you're going to be immediately tied to,
that you're not 100% sure about.
You're not that keen on.
Yeah, but now they've shot themselves in the foot because they've decided to go with a manager who sort of may scuffle the start of their season, and any plans to get in top 4 seem over and out. I think they've dropped the ball a little bit here.
Why? Who should be managing United right now? Then?
I think circumstances went that they felt pressured into allowing Ten Hag a chance at the 3rd season because.
Yeah, but who should be the manager? I don't know.
I've not interviewed managers like.
But they have. So surely you back their decision to know what they're on about.
I think they just should. Well, they have, and then what's happened then since then is Ten Hag, whilst they were actively looking for another manager, has won the FA Cup, and it was a great game of football, and I won't change it probably because it was a great win.
Yeah, don't challenge for that.
But now we're in a situation where we're like, fucking hell.
He had time there. I didn't know it though because no one probably told him.
Yeah. Mike Kennedy says, "Afternoon, you beautiful bastards." Afternoon. Daniel Wilson, this toxic negativity in the chat is depressive. Well, if it's negative, it's toxic negative. If it's positive, it's toxic positive. You can't win. That's just the internet for you. People would rather us lose and sack the manager.
Fair enough on the whole negativity front, but I'm sick of the clowns that, like, we could be losing 5-6-0, people will complain about it, and they're like, oh, toxic negativity. What are you on about?
No, that's a penalty.
Nah, you got the ball.
I don't think you did.
Can tell Spence barely appealed. Just seen one of the worst halves of football we've ever seen from United. Some people having a moan, and it's negativity apparently. Of course,
the point he was making was some people would rather watch us lose and sack the manager than succeed by the looks of things. I mean, there's obviously a line where positivity goes too far, or negativity goes too far.
Mount needs to remember that. Mount's got that little bit of needle in him where
he might get sent off.
I'm worried about him getting another yellow.
Well, I've got Delo as well. I'm fucking worried about Delo.
Tom Green says, do you think Ten Hag will take accountability after the match, or will he go on about trophies again? I think he'll probably take responsibility personally. Sam Wise says,
probably will.
I've blindly backed the manager through everything, but today he has lost me. There you go. Kratos says, I'm not even Ten Hag out, but the way you defend him after such a disgraceful performance is a disgrace. When have I defended him? Honestly, what the fuck are you on about would be my response to that. I don't think you've watched. I don't think you've listened. I don't think you know what you're talking about. I think you're talking bollocks. So there you go. I haven't defended him or the performance in any way at all since this game started. And United shit.
Maybe
put the game back on. I can hear cheering.
You don't want to see the game. You want to see them have a shot straight at the keeper.
Yeah. No, they always do that though, and then you can hear like something going on, and then the camera just mad shifts.
The camera just pans back, and we've given the ball away. There you go. Hamish says Scholes in the halftime show. I guess that must be the American one.
Yeah.
He was told
Darren Bent.
He said that he was told recently that De Ligt was supposedly better than Maguire and that Bruno shouldn't have given the ref chance to send him off. I think it was McCullough that told him that. Personally. Benjamin Toppin, sorry just to keep reading these out, but it is just there's loads of super chats. No leadership on the field, same as last season. Not a single player willing to pick up and carry the ball and take responsibility.
That's one thing I'm missing from Martinez as well. Maybe not just his football style of play that's happening at the minute, but he was very vocal and he was a great leader in the first season. So much so I thought there you
go. That's him getting booked now as well.
So much so that I thought he's got future captain material, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I've not seen him be as talkative or as vocal or as we kind of needed him, considering we've got half of our back four is completely changed. Oh my god!
I think there's more chance we go down to 9 than us getting 1 goal.
It's crazy. Well, Delo, Martinez, Mount.
There's a few bookings.
Casemiro.
It was on there. Ethan has it on there on the graphic. Yeah, I saw it before. There was quite a few
3 yellows
that we've got.
We're all going to lose our fucking minds if we go down to 9.
Delo, Martinez, Mazraoui and Mount.
Oh, forgot about Mazraoui. Great.
Both full-backs, one of your centre-backs, and the midfield that's been on for 8 minutes.
Against 10 men.
This is obscene, isn't it?
Good recovery, though.
Yeah, that was good. Although has it gone out?
That didn't even go out, like it went out, that.
No, it didn't. Paras says, maybe too early to ask the question, but does Ugarte solve the midfield issues? We've thrown so much money around, but our midfield has been so poor for so long. Personally, I would say it is too early to ask that question, but what do you reckon, Ronnie?
Yeah, I think it's too early. I just thought Ugarte wasn't exactly a £50 million midfielder in the fact that he was before going to PSG and not being deemed good enough. But I also knew that he had traits and abilities that could have value. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's an awful player. Do you know what I mean?
Casemiro thinks he's on the fucking beach, doesn't he, on a lounger.
Jesus. Oh.
What a save.
No.
Werner was offside then, surely, you know. Timo's so... How bad's Werner at finishing now? I'm not gonna lie.
So bad
at finishing. He's shit at finishing. He's always been shit at finishing.
He looked offside to me.
No.
Delete.
Shit, innit? Don't get the bend on it. Don't get it in the corner enough.
Oh, he's bad, isn't he? If he was any good, he'd be 3-0.
That's what I would look like hitting that.
Hey.
You know where he don't get his body around it enough. He's not getting the whip on it. It's just straight at the keeper.
It's still only consolation, but we got to thank our lucky stars that Heung-min Son's not playing. Because he's the type of absolute killer that would have just put every single chance away.
Forgot about that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck me. Well,
but that in the midfield there, the way Kulusevski just walked away from Ugarte and Casemiro there was embarrassing.
Thomas Hernandez said you tweeted. One sec, United counter-attacking. You tweeted this week saying that adding De Ligt and Yoro gives you, okay, so I don't know you sport, the best centre-back selection in the league. Which I still think it does. This kind of talk is the problem. Is that kind of talk the problem, or do we think it's
that's the main problem,
a lack of quality management, tactics, effort, and personnel? I wonder whether United losing games is less to do with me thinking we've got decent centre backs and more to do with us playing badly. But each to their own.
Joe on Twitter going, fucking hell, Joe's right.
Each to their own. Jake Bennett. Could someone give me a quick summary of the benefits of keeping Ten Hag? Right, let's do this then. Answer that question. Who do we bring in? Because this has been awful today, and we're 2 and a bit years in. If you don't want Ten Hag to be the manager, I get it. I'm not so blind that I can't imagine a world where you think this is good enough. I get it. Who would you bring in? We sack him now. Who do you bring in? Is it the guy who's already the assistant manager in Ruud van Nistelrooy, who's already implementing tactics, who's already coaching these guys?
Is he implementing tactics?
Well, he's not doing nothing.
I always think in the back of my mind.
Bring in?
I think in my back of my mind, Ruud van Nistelrooy was put there for a reason. If stuff don't go well mid-season, they break the glass and they put him in charge.
Bring Ruud in. Do you think that's who it would be? Do you think does winning a cup with was it PSV? Is that a good enough CV to be the United manager?
No, it's not.
So what do you reckon? Honestly, I'm not trying to be facetious because I get it. Who would you bring in? People in the comments. McKenna just signed a 4-year deal or 5-year deal at Ipswich. That's not happening. Rude can go too, says Callum. Nagelsmann, are you getting him from Germany? Is it Germany, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Doing good things there. Potentially Tuchel. I mean, someone said a 40-year-old Alex Ferguson. I'd be up for him. Thomas Frank, that's an option.
The two best gaffers and the up-and-coming gaffers aren't there that would have been available.
Motta,
Thiago Motta, and I was a big fan of.
Yeah. Playing good stuff at Juve at the minute, isn't he?
Played like.
Yeah, genuinely, what do you reckon? Ole, that's not really an option, is it? We need an unknown manager. Okay. Do we know?
That's a.
Does Ineos even know who he is?
Just get an unknown, like someone that
Get Joe
you don't
McGrath
know.
in.
So basically, it's basically
go out there and just have fun.
it's a.
Couple of Guinness in the dressing room before
You should pick a name out of the hat.
Unlucky. Penalty. Go on then, give us a penalty. Check it, ref.
He will get checked that. Because looks a little bit sheepish though, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He looked a bit there, innit?
Like he just got.
He looked a bit like.
It's the near side arm.
Literally hit him right.
If it hit that one, he might. I thought it hit his shoulder there, didn't it?
Hit him right in the stomach.
I thought
He literally couldn't be further away from handball. But I don't know why he looked so guilty.
He always looks a bit sheepish, I think. A ball.
Go on. Oh.
That might be handball, that one. Go on, let's check that one. That one looked more like a handball to me.
I think that was a chance by Martinez.
That one looked more like a handball to me.
Go away, they're looking.
I think that was a chance by him. He's the one that I don't trust.
Hits his body first, so he's probably not going to give it.
Did it brush his body first?
It does hit his arm.
Oh.
Don't know, it hits his arm. I mean, I don't think that would be any harsher than giving a red card for Bruno tripping someone up.
Might get that.
I think that's. I think it's 50. I think that's 50-50. That I think we might get a penalty for that.
Could do.
Nope. There you go.
There we go.
Done.
Go on, lads. I want to see some effort. I want to see us have a goal.
That's nice.
Oh, fucking
Out left.
It's not.
It's a shit pass from Dallas.
It's not a great pass, innit? It's one of the.
Oh, Garnacho's been shit today and all, hasn't he? Fucking
It's
hell.
not a great pass, but at this level of football, you fucking control that.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
do.
give a fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie.
There's no one on him, and they've not absolutely volleyed it at him, has he? Or welled it at him. Thoughts? People saying Vince McMahon is available at the minute to manage United. Interesting.
Yeah, you don't want that. Have you seen that Mr. McMahon documentary that's on Netflix?
You joking?
Came out Friday.
Oh, I wonder if Tom Rice is making maybe a sort of jokey reference to that, or whether he's just got it all completely wrong and he genuinely thinks that Vince McMahon would be a good manager for Man United.
I wouldn't think so anyway.
He's got a background in wrestling. He's never managed a football team before.
I've only seen the first episode, but needs to say he's not a very nice man.
No, he's very nice McMahon. Actually. Ted Lasso, Amarim from Sporting. Yeah, go on then.
Just hard to get a gaffer out of someone that's already managing a pretty big side at this if they're not currently available.
Yeah, 6 games into the season.
Yeah.
'Cause it's a bit of a poison chalice for a manager as well, because if you come in now, you don't get a pre-season, you don't get to implement your tactics very well, and also you're managing a team that's struggling to win games. If you don't turn that around, you get tarnished with the same brush that the previous manager was. Everyone just thinks you're shit by Christmas. You have to come in and fully Emery things, otherwise it's not even much better. That's a good ball. Well then now. Clippy. It's nice that. Oh, good defending.
Come on. You just don't know, do you? 2-1, then we get like a penalty, a good free kick.
I think we're fucked. Eminem, if we were good today, top 4. Even if we were good today, top 4 would be hard to get. True. Very true. Gav says, I find it interesting that Ashworth and Barada interview. That in that Ashworth and Barada interview, they distanced themselves from the post-season review. Said it was before they started. I found that very interesting as well. It's kind of a win-win for them though, because they kind of have to say that because they were still employed by City and Newcastle. So they can't say, yeah, we were involved, we were doing work before we legally started.
But also trying to say we didn't want him anyway.
Well, you can then hear the rumours and rumblings. If they do want to sack Ten Hag, they can then say,
oh, fuck off.
They can then say, Ashworth and Berardi were never keen, and they didn't want to keep him, but Ineos had already made their minds up. So it is a bit of it's a free hit for them. You might as well pretend you had nothing to do with it, because that way, if you do want to sack him, you don't look like complete idiots. Mario Da Silva, why do we have to back Ineos when they looked at Southgate, Frank Tuchel, and not Motta, Amorim, Alonso? There are good managers out there. I don't think Alonso was ever an option. And also, I don't know. If they were genuinely considering Southgate, I do think that worries me in terms of their. That's a shit cross, Mason. Fucking hell. In terms of their scouting for managers, but we'll have to wait and see. Because also, Ashworth and Berardi aren't Ineos. I know they're friends and whatever, but Berardi's City and Ineos, and Ashworth is England, which again links to Southgate, but he's not like an Ineos guy. He's been around British football for the last 10, 15 years, so it's not all just one brain working by itself. Well, Martinez says the problem is that the people view this club as a perennial title challenger because we've won a league many years ago. The reality of the rebuild is it's fourth at best, potentially. Can we all unanimously agree now? Ten Hag is an incompetent manager who's made terrible signings. He needs to go now. Everyone who agrees, say aye.
Yellow.
It doesn't pass, unfortunately.
Most of our team now are on yellow cards.
See, if that was how you win games, then we'd be doing really well. Eminem says, "You gonna act like?" Why does everything start with "you gonna act like"? Can we all agree now? Why do we have to? Like, we don't. Just speak normally. Are you gonna act like Ineos wasn't pressured by the fans to keep Ten Hag? Musk basically threatening support of Ineos based off their decision. No, people definitely did want to back Ten Hag, yeah, for winning the FA Cup and for what we saw in the first season. People definitely did that. I don't think anyone's acting like that. That didn't happen. Kratos says, Ronaldo, talk more. Only you make sense here.
I don't want to talk. So.
Sorry, Kratos.
No,
Kratos.
I'm just kind
of... your big smelly toes.
I hate... This is the stage where as a fan, you start getting numb to the pain.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
This stage of the game or this stage of the managerial career or tenure?
I don't know, man. Because it just feels like... Because now we've got 25 minutes to go to show something, but then at the end it's like, does it really matter? Yeah. And that's like one of the worst type of football matches you can either be involved in or watch.
Yeah, it's all a bit futile, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lee says, on the upside, we don't look any worse since Bruno went off. I think they've sort of unsurprisingly slowed a touch, haven't they, Tottenham as well? It's just nibble shit ball at the minute, isn't it?
Nibble shit ball.
Everyone's just rushing. Every pass is like at the extended toe of a leg. Like nothing's comfortable or in hand. Everything's just risky and shit. AJ Big Drip back in the super chats. Don't think Ugarte fixes anything. Poor signing. First Premier League start. KC. Welcome to the academy. Thank you very much. We love it. We love jumping to conclusions. More than Bruno loves jumping in on tackles, we love jumping to conclusions.
Fuck me.
Ugarte's garbage. First start. Jake Bennett, bring in Ole. Super sub back at it again. Yep.
I love Ole.
Yeah, but you probably like the new Star Wars films. Oh my God, Han Solo's back and he said his catchphrase.
No,
Let's get Ole back in.
He died.
Eventually he did, yeah. Fucking hell, we can't just keep... I loved it under Solskjaer and I got called a dickhead for that as well.
Who called you a dickhead?
That's where toxic positivity was spawned, my boy.
Oh, from Ole?
From the Ole era, of course it was.
Oh, yeah, but we'd be 2-0 down on Ole and we'd still win.
Exactly, but you can't be 2-0 down anymore. You have to have 70% possession, 300 shots on target, and you don't concede any, otherwise you're shit and you'll never catch Pep. Robert Brooks. Any female managers that could do it? I don't know.
Name some.
Well, the Chelsea manager's just just gone to Spain, so that's not going to work.
America.
Is she going to America? Mm-hmm. Oh. The England manager, doubt it. They're the big ones that I'm aware of.
Isn't the England manager a man?
No. Is it
Phil Neville at one point,
Serena
England manager?
Wegman? She's good, but again, you don't know. If they've not managed, no offence, if they've not managed men's football before, the first job in men's football cannot be the Manchester United job. There's definitely women who are capable of managing Man United at some point in their lives or careers.
Oh!
Go on! Oh my God!
Fucking hell!
Casemiro almost scored there. That would have been a lovely finish as well, you know. That would have been a lovely finish. And he's onside. If you get that in, anything's possible.
Two things.
This is what you want a sucker punch, because I feel like Tottenham have got complacent, and it's like,
yeah. What are we thinking? Maybe a bit of Ahmad action? Someone to just link the play up so we can actually get out a bit. They've let us, like you said, Rennie, they've let us move the ball around a bit, Tottenham, haven't they? It's not been completely stifling from them. Just look at some of the stats.
This is what's annoying though.
In the first
This is what annoying, because like you start thinking you're getting, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Like wins that aren't wins, because this sums up a lot of Ten Hag's tenure. That first half was tragically bad.
Diabolical.
So anything that's remotely better than that, which isn't that difficult, everyone will be like, oh, it's great now. We had a great our second half was better.
Yeah.
Obviously the second half was better. It couldn't have been any worse. Do you know what I mean? That's why sometimes you got to put some perspective in it. We are huffing and puffing a bit, and then you got to think, is it down to us, or is it down to Spurs kind of downing tools a little bit after they threw out their traps and got their second goal? But even though I still think the way that Tottenham plays, they usually do give you opportunity.
Yeah.
Even if you...
We saw one there.
Yeah.
Go on, Garnacho.
Who's going to come off for Højlund?
Probably Garnacho, I'd think. I think if you're desperate for a goal, I'd rather have Rashford on the pitch than Garnacho.
It's such a shame it's 2-0, because it just... We're looking all right. Oh, fucking hell.
Too much of that today.
Oh!
Well done, Marcus.
Yeah. Brendan Johnson with his trip over the ball special.
Fucking hell. Has Garnacho done anything except lose the ball in the second half? It's been poor from him. Poor touches there, just taking too long. Twice in a row, you've got the ball in front of you and you let someone get in and tackle you or block it. Just too slow. That's good. Go on then, Garner. What you got?
Go on, Ogano.
That's better. And again.
Oh. Go on.
Shoot! How has he got in crazy, great spots, Martinez? He's been in two great positions.
Werner's a burner. This is what he can do. Run.
Yeah. And
nothing else
find
really.
A pass.
Oh.
Skinned Masraoui. Probably
4 minutes, 4-on-4.
Oh. He's so bad, Werner.
That's absolutely. If you could concentrate Werner into a single thing, run the ball, skin the fullback, go past him, cut the ball back to no one.
Yeah,
shit
awful.
pass. There's players on there as well. There was 2 players he actually could have found with.
I know.
He got nowhere near either of them.
Come on.
Have you noticed Martinez is basically playing?
Go on.
Ooh, go on. Well done, Garnacho. That's better.
Martinez is playing up top for United. It's fucking mad.
I'm surprised.
It's a crazy game of football.
I'm surprised Ange hasn't made any subs, you know.
Yeah, me too.
He gets criticised a lot for that. If you 2-0 up with 10 men, I thought they were.
Here we go. So we're taking
Ugarte off for Eriksen. Højlund on for
Onana.
Rashford probably, maybe.
We're not sure.
They're not showing us yet.
Rashford.
Yeah.
Fair. I mean, I would have gone Garnacho, but it's similar.
It's not been a delay, though,
There's an echo in here.
What about Eriksen?
Corner to United. Eriksen, yeah, so just to double clarify, Eriksen for Ugarte.
And Tottenham are usually
Tottenham
are susceptible from corners.
Not that kind of corner.
That kind of corner.
That's the type of corner.
I don't think Eriksen's
have a shot at your own goal from that.
What an awful start to
That's not a foul. That's not a foul. Well done.
Come on, fucking hell.
Just a little spell here. If United can get a goal as part of this spell, that's a foul. That is a foul.
He bought that.
It's a foul. Step across it. If United can get a goal in this little spell, who knows?
Yeah,
but we have to. We have to score.
A man sent off.
We have to score in this spell.
It'd be such a Ten Hag thing.
That's a foul.
He gets his leg across him, doesn't he?
Pedro.
Suvajic says Liverpool said no to Amarim because he plays a back three. Yeah, with United's centre-back injuries, having to have 3 fit centre-backs every week is a bit of a stretch, isn't it? Rejoice says, back Ten Hag, these players need to go. Blimey.
Rejoice!
Let them get to realise that they can't get away with this kind of shit.
5 of these players are
day
Ten
out.
Hag signings.
Oh,
Eriksen,
God.
fuck me. Who's put him on set pieces?
He's had 2 set pieces so far, Eriksen, in the kind of first 4 touches he's had in the game, and both of them have hit the first man. Yeah, win that. Oh, come on. Got to be getting those second balls there. Got to win this now.
Oh.
Well done.
Nice. Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Push him.
Oh,
Lovely.
I feel
Sing song there.
I'm just concerned. I feel like a sucker punch is coming.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
because
we're gonna-
3-0 soon.
We're already
Yeah.
2-0 down, so
gonna
we
be
might
a
as well.
fight.
We might as well go for it. What's the point? Might as well lose
What is
3-0
the
going for it
point?
rather than just sit back and lose 2-0. I know you're not saying which.
Yeah.
Liam says, do you agree that? Shall we say that? Wouldn't you agree that? Why are there so many journalists in the chat right now? Such leading questions. It is very Piers Morgan, isn't it? I'll tell you something, but I pretend that I'm asking you something. Joe, wouldn't you say that
Do you come?
the 10th chicken wing tastes twice as good as the second?
I'm normally a bit chicken winged out by if I'm eating 10 on the bounce.
Interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
10 I think the 10th wing is a real slog, to be honest.
Here's
There we go.
the sucker punch. Ah.
Almost. Lovely.
Nice. Oh.
Is he on?
Oh,
Good
why
one.
did you just do a roly-poly in the middle of the
Shit,
pitch?
torch.
Garnacho's just there lingering.
Garnacho's just stood on the halfway
He's
line.
ready.
Yeah. He's like a vulture. Just
What
swirling.
the fuck? What's
going on here?
Time? I don't know.
Nope. Nerd Immunity says, is Massimiliano Allegri available? I don't know if that's a joke, but Juve fans hated him because of how negative and defensive his football was. I can't imagine that going down well at United.
Who was the? Have you seen that thing going online about the Everton fans arguing about their new manager?
No.
Who was the manager? One of them. The Everton fan goes, "I've got 3 names for you," and they were the funniest 3 names I've ever heard. Does anyone know who I'm talking about?
He said Mark Robbins, Chris Wilder.
Chris
Mark
Wilder.
Robbins.
Chris Wilder. I think Chris Wilder one broke all the Everton fans. It was so funny that.
Tottenham are bringing on 17-year-old Mikey Moore.
And Will Still.
Will Still.
Is Will Still?
I don't know. I don't
I
think
need
so.
a piss badly, you know, but
Go for a while. Go for a little was.
It'll be 3-0 when you come back, don't worry. Needy Terminator. Poch is obviously the answer.
Oh, great one there, Ronaldo.
Yeah, we purposely gave an alleyway behind the camera, but we can go in front as well if you want. Poch is obviously the answer, holds up sarcasm sign. I still think Ten Hag is the one, just something's not clicking. Rashford and Xerxes can't seem to mesh. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to just... We're constantly talking about the future of the manager and will he get sacked and won't he? It just feels like eventually that environment isn't going to work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's constantly on the docket, first thing on the agenda,
don't want to speak about
should
this,
the
we're
manager
not
get
even-
sacked?
We're not even in October yet.
It's the only thing we're talking about, and there's
3-0.
3-0.
And it was just, fuck you now.
Um,
Put your bow and arrow away.
KC, afternoon from North Carolina. I'm late, just got mobile service back. Neighbours' houses gone, trees down, flooding, etc. Are we as shy as things seem? Yeah, maybe not as shy as what you described there, but it
3-0.
is 3-0. Ronaldo, like we predicted.
3-0.
Proteus.
Solanke. It was a very bad corner. Very bad.
these are mine now.
It's an M&M kind of afternoon, unfortunately.
Oh, the fucking... Watch this.
Just shite. Ball in. Win the first one, win the second one. Love it. No one tracking him. Dallo stood still.
Oh, well.
I don't even think it's Dallo's man. He's too far in front of Dallo. It's no
the
one's
only one
man.
alive,
It's no
only
one's
one
man.
alive.
Because why would you mark their centre forward? Literally, everyone there, except Delict, but he's marking the space and it's behind Delict. Everyone's got a man, except the fucking free striker running through, the £60 million striker that they've just signed. Don't go near him. The fact you try and defend Ten Hag, oh God. But he's the only manager that hasn't played the right
You're going to
tactics.
lose your head, you.
Why is everyone having a go at you?
Everyone knows how to beat Ange.
What's made me laugh today, me and Joe debate all the time and whatever. But I'm laughing at the way he's been getting blamed today by fans for the performance.
I don't know how you're getting
Obviously, let's be level-headed and fair to people. People are thick, and they think it's my fault that we're losing football matches. Sorry about that. I'm only joking.
I tell you what. I tell you what the thing is. Outside looking in, right? When we did a show, me and you, and it was a very good show to do after we beat Barnsley 7-0, right? We did a show highlighting that we don't always have to be negative about the United start. And I think some people take that as us going, isn't everything all great and isn't it all wonderful? Yeah. And it wasn't to do that. The purpose of that was to go, actually, if we can carry on playing better, not conceding the shots as much as we are, if certain players step up, we can be a decent Man United team. We weren't saying that was 100% the case. We were highlighting that.
Yeah.
And then people see that video, John, and they go, oh, you love him.
But it's also like, I do defend the manager, and I defended Solskjaer, and I defended Rangnick, and I defended Jose, and I do tend to defend United managers because I want us to succeed, and I want to find reasons why we can succeed. Because I know for a fact that changing managers isn't necessarily a solution, and sometimes you have to get to the point where it's the next thing you try. But people seem to think that changing the manager fixes things. And it doesn't inherently fix things. Obviously, sticking with the wrong person doesn't fix things either. But we know that just because you've changed the manager, it doesn't necessarily get better. So especially if I don't think there's a manager out there who I think is good enough to win as a Premier League title, then I'm not necessarily going to just go, yeah, get rid of Ten Hag and bring in, it doesn't matter who's available. If there's someone really great available and the performances stay like this, then obviously, who wouldn't, make that swap? But I just don't think getting rid of managers all the time is the best solution. And there's plenty of times where we would have got rid of managers earlier than we did and would have missed out on trophies or FA Cups or, whatever in the past. And I just think that you can get rid of him, but you've got to bring in someone better, and that's easier said than done. Brian Kevill, give the job to an actor like Mel Gibson. That could work.
What?
Well, it might work.
I won't give it Mel Gibson, though.
Who would you give it to if you had to give it to an actor?
Like Vin Diesel or something.
Yeah, it's more like it, isn't it? Another bald fraud. Is Mount... No, it's not Mount, is it?
It is.
You're joking. Is Mount injured? Has he banged his head?
He's broke his
His head's bleeding. Is it? I can't tell. And that's nice. Coming from a Newcastle fan, that's fucking hilarious, that.
What did he say?
He could act like Pep and win. Well, Pep didn't win the fucking FA Cup, did he? And Newcastle haven't won anything ever, so that's good.
Fucking square.
Rejoice! Says back the manager. I mean, even I'm struggling to read this. These last few results have been a freak. New lads need bedding in. Can't be going trigger happy, especially for this lot of players. It's a horrible set of circumstances we find ourselves in, where we've got new owners, and they're obviously going to want to imprint their style and their vision on United. We've got a manager who's been here 2 years. 1 year was decent, 1 year was shocking. It's just a horrible situation, isn't it? And then you have performances like this, which just, should be a once every 2 or 3 year performance, and we're getting them every few weeks. Kareem says, I think that third goal sacked the manager. Paddock ignored the signs that things would get worse. Honestly, when you say we ignored them...
Stop reading these out, Joe.
They're super chats. I'm encouraged to read them out because it's not fair.
I'm going to send one in saying stop reading them out.
Paddock ignored the signs that things could get worse. I know. So silly. I should have sacked him when I had the chance. When I was in that board meeting.
Who's the guy in the glasses there? I recognise him.
It's Nick Robinson, political correspondent.
Oh. Yeah, knew it.
You don't recognise him.
Of course, why would I say who's the guy in the glasses? I recognise him.
You thought it was fucking
Omar
Barada.
I knew it was Nick Robinson. What, for the BBC?
Yeah, you thought that was what's the marginal gains fella?
Not going to do it. I know Nick Robinson.
Sorry, I just can't get over the fact that I ignored the signs that this was only going to get worse. What should I should have done things so differently, Joe. I should have brought in Motta while I had the chance. Alex Davies.
Fuck me, how many subs have we got? Lindelof coming on. You getting hate online, you. People giving you abuse as well. I'm not getting any abuse, me. I'm fine.
You're doing all right, aren't you?
I've not looked yet.
You're just full of M&Ms.
Let's have a look.
2 horses in a fridge. One looks to the other and goes... It's not bad. Not a bad joke.
Wait, say that again. I usually catch yours.
It's not mine, it's a super chat.
2 horses in a fridge. What are they doing in a fridge?
Good point. Probably dead, so won't be able to make any noise.
Joe's correct in what he says. That's nice.
Lerone Varnado. So the owners interviewed a bunch of candidates only to keep Ten Hag and fire him 2 months into the season. What does that say about Ineos? That's a good point.
Oh, they put a little argument between me and you. That's not nice, is it? Online, little rats in the corner. I see you, Ethan.
It's fine. Anonymous people, bring in Brendan Rodgers. Might work.
Brendan Rodgers?
It might work. It actually
Suck
might.
a fart on my ass.
Ahmad coming on. Here we go. 6 minutes left. Fix it, fella. Mason Mount's come off. Fucking hell.
Mason Mount's come off. Brilliant. Another great sub.
Yes, it's Ten Hag's fault. Mason Mount got fucking hit in the head.
Jesus, Joe.
Another great sub. Another fine mess you've got me into. Fuck's sake. I love this. Was it Nicholas Parsons? No, it was Nick Robinson, wasn't it? Wait, no one even said Nicholas Parsons. Don't know why I said that. Nicholas Walker. Instead of a person, give them management to a concept. I like that. Yeah, we can just have a sort of ethereal glowing orb on the touchline that represents greed. I'd like that. I might win something or two.
Very sparse in the stands, isn't it, as well now?
Yeah. Give it to a concept. At least for the
What does that mean,
at least for the next few games.
Like a Pink Floyd album?
Yeah. Dark Side of the Moon, something like that. Imagine that. You look on the United touchline, it's just light refracting through a crystal. That's all there is, but he's got the big trench coat on. Unbelievable. Yomi Nelson, how can you blame Ten Hag How can you blame Ten Hag for players not following their runner and the ref taking the piss? Bring in Emery, Ole or Flick. Up the Paddock, love you all. Oh, it's a beautiful day, this, isn't it?
You got tomorrow off?
No.
You didn't fucking need it, you. Get a massage or something.
I'm doing all right. It's a shame United are terrible. But, at least when we go...
How many likes are you on, though? That's a good thing, isn't it?
1,100.
Great, that.
Here we go. Akash Solomon. It was so great to meet you and Adam in San Diego, Joe. Favourite place there? In San Diego, favourite place?
Jesus Christ.
Don't know. I don't remember the name of anything, which is bad. Tottenham counter-attack, and I'll get to the end of that in a second.
Tottenham's just taking the piss.
They've got Hoyland playing for them now. Have they done that? Switched him over. So deflating to wake up at 4 or 8 a.m. every season, hoping for the best, but things unravelling. Yeah. I'll just take us looking competent by 2028 instead of that title.
He wakes up at 4 or 8?
I think it depends on what time the game is.
I don't... What? 4 or 8?
Yeah.
Well, when's there a 4-hour gap? Because
a 12 o'clock kickoff or a 4 o'clock kickoff?
Oh yeah, the classic 4 o'clock kickoff.
Oh yeah, the classic 12:30 kickoff, and then the classic...
When was that 12:30 kickoff?
I don't know. Yesterday!
yeah, but I'm sorry, mate.
Did you...
That isn't what happened, was it?
What?
I don't think... Is there a 4-hour period between 2 kickoffs?
I mean...
12 o'clock kickoff,
sorry.
3. There's 3 hours.
Akash, you maybe meant 4 or 7.
Your time is right.
Fucking hell. Picking him apart. He just sent $20 in, man.
Oh, sorry. You're right.
Yeah, you're right. You don't know what time you wake up. Joe does. Stop blaming Erik Joe Haag, everyone. I love that.
That wins today, that one.
That's really good. Sam Zed said, now Brentford above us in the table. Have they played again? They've played it. They've just been... How have they gone above us?
Because we have goal difference. They must have jumped ahead.
No!
Goal difference.
Shit! Not Brentford. That's the last thing we needed. The whole club's fucked. The manager's getting sacked. All the signings are shit. The owners don't know what they're doing. But Brentford have gone ahead of us. That's the real killer today. We're shit. I hate that we're shit. Why do we have to actually be shit? You just think, we might be alright. This looks good. This positive signs here. And then this shit happens.
Wow,
we get battered by Liverpool. We get battered by Tottenham. Every time we play a good team, we get fucking battered by them. How can we do this every time? I'll name this podcast later. Erik Ten Hag is the reason for global warming. I actually agree for once. Just so you don't feel left out, Joe McGrath, you're a div too. That's from James Sperrin.
James, shut up.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, sorry, Sperrin.
Done you there, Spezza.
I didn't mean that, Sperrin. Apologies.
Use that word sparingly. Andrew.
None of us are called Andrew. He's Ronaldo, I'm Joe.
Andrew. We see fans living in their drones far too often.
In their drones? You get
Some
a drone to the studio.
Some say drones, some say droves. I think a car in a way is a drone, isn't it? A car is a drone, in a sense.
Would you do that in the future if you just have to hold on really tightly, get a drone home?
Like Mary Poppins with the umbrella?
Yeah.
Just off the pitch? No, I'm not having that. Corner to United.
Andrew.
I tell you what, I'd love a 3-1 now.
Andrew.
Would you take a 3-1 now, Joe?
Yeah, I'd take a
For
3-1.
goal difference wise, maybe, but like it doesn't.
Oh!
We're joking. It's
It's
all irrelevant garbage, isn't it, at this stage? J.E. Frasconi, gents, Ten Hag has lost the players. Add him to the list of managers that cannot get this squad to play. Do not think that the players are this bad, but they never seem to turn up. Can any manager turn this around? The thing is, it's not just this manager, but it's also, these aren't the same players. It's weird that
I hate that.
whoever it is,
that jars me.
It doesn't work.
That jars me.
What?
Once players throwing managers under the bus again, these players. There's been 13 players signed since Ten Hag's been here.
Yeah.
But people have this narrative to protect the manager all the time where they say, it's these players again throwing another manager under the bus. It's a brand new team. This isn't the same team that was under Van Gaal. It was not the same team that was under Marine. What the fuck?
Save. How is he through there like that? I suppose we've got 10 men, that's how.
Yeah, we've all switched off. We're reviewing after this. What's it going to be called?
Oh dear.
What's the word going to be behind our heads when we do the review?
Well, I don't know.
Diabolical.
Tony Pius. I think this is the end of the road for Ten Hag. Travel from Estonia to see 20 and Spurs. Need a refund. Christ. Unlucky, mate.
Are you still in the stadium?
Probably not. Gav says, honestly, result and performance are awful, but this has been the best TV since the 80s day of Savile, Harris and Barrymore. So, could be worse.
What a front three.
I think that was the Leeds front three when they won the league, wasn't it?
Can we say that?
Yeah, they're just generic surnames. No, nothing attached to them.
Oh my god!
Look at that! What a pass from Casemiro.
Oh,
That's a goal.
we can't even fucking score.
Good run that by the lip.
It was actually. This is terrible.
Was he offside?
No.
Because of Pedro.
What do we do, Ronnie? What happens here?
I don't know. I think the manner of the loss is going to be damning.
Yeah. I mean, even if we just stick to when it was 11v11, because obviously after that, anything can happen. I'm not saying we ignore that completely, but just for now. Is that worse for you than what happened after the red card got sent off, after the red card came out? Like what we actually looked like when it was 11v11?
I just think we can't even blame the 10 men too much. I think we looked like we had 10 men before before Bruno ever come off. And I don't know, it's just not enough. Just not enough. I actually just don't know what to say anymore. I feel like I've said all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
4 minutes to go.
We shouldn't be this disheartened so many
Regularly.
games into the season, should we?
I know.
This shouldn't be what
The
a
season's
watch.
just started.
This shouldn't be what a watch long is like in September.
No.
We still should have slight optimism, but I think what the problem is it is a carry on from some of our really poor results of last year, from the Crystal Palace away defeat to even games at Bournemouth, and we just we're picking up where I think many fans hope we didn't leave, but we are still in this same sort of rut of getting beat.
Yeah.
literally no one in the stands anymore.
Would you leave if you were there, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, I would have left.
You'd think maybe obviously there'd be the diehard people that stay every game. Also those that have come from far and wide. That may have saved up to splash the cash on the ticket, getting beat 3-0, getting pissed on by the rain.
Tough, innit? Big day for Ange, this.
At least he got some.
Was it 4 in a row they've won now? It's weird that like moments in it, that Coventry game, where up until the 90th minute they were losing. And if he loses that, who knows where he would be now?
What?
And yet now they've won 4 in a row, smashed United at home, and they look like they're, pushing again. United go the other way. Should have beaten Brighton and lost.
Well, let's put it this way:
that goal disallowed against Brighton, lost, and ever since it's been fucking disastrous.
If we don't beat Coventry on penalties, Ten Hag isn't a Man United job. Isn't the Man United job? I don't think. In the FA Cup,
true.
He was saved by the bell in a way.
Yeah, well, the VAR was so close to being knocked out by Coventry.
So close.
I know. Puppy Parade with a super chat. Joe, I agree with your reasonable and measured analysis on the manager situation. Don't let the dummies in the chat get you down. Thank you. Kaz Mofo, this is a donation for your support. 7-0 against Porto on Thursday. Mark my words. Bloody hell, I'd love that. Give it to Mikey. One good thing coming from this match is Ten Hag is forced to sit Bruno for 2 matches. Is it 2 or what? Or is it 3?
I think 3 for violent conduct, isn't it?
So it might be. It could be. Maybe we don't know yet. Is the answer. We think it's 3. Jay Frashoni says, sorry to trigger Ronnie. What I'm saying is this manager is it really up to the manager to fix? So many different players in the last 10 years and half a dozen managers. It seems to be a problem beyond management. I don't think he's blaming this specific set of players.
True, but people forget that.
Patterns.
People forget there could also just be a situation where United have just not picked the correct one.
5 times.
5 times. Yeah. Yes, that could literally just be the truth, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Piotr, it's sad that from the 80th minute the stadium looks half empty. It says a lot. Pisses me off that everyone grows around us and we turn into shit. Yes. Ramp says, have you seen the XG? No, but I'm sure it's well within our favour. 4.6 for Tottenham. That's absolutely massive. I know you've been slightly tongue-in-cheek there, but genuinely.
Is that the XG?
That's Tottenham's XG. Cameron, I'm from America and dreading going to the Brentford game that I saved up to go to. Yeah, I mean, that's the risk you take being a Man United fan, isn't it? Paul B says, Gary Neville creates such a negative energy from the get-go. To be fair to Neville, I did think he was a bit harsh on the red card, but when you go 1-0 down after 2 minutes, it's hard to be hugely positive about a game, isn't it? So
negative's just become a bit of a buzzword, isn't it?
Yeah. Full-time, Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Absolutely disastrous performance from Manchester United. The sort of performance that is only going to put maybe terminal pressure on Erik Ten Hag, because that was an absolutely horrific day, wasn't it, Ronnie?
Yeah, that was awful. We huffed and puffed in the second half, but I think that was largely down to Tottenham down in tools and being just a tad more complacent. I think they had the game done and dusted in the first half, where they were just better at every single facet of the game. Wanted it more. They were quicker, more powerful, more physical. They were also technically better, more composed under pressure. We just didn't look ready.
No.
And then when we were down to 10 men with a bit of a daft challenge by Bruno, don't think it was a red card though, but he gave the referee and VAR a decision to make that he didn't need to. And I think there's not much more to really say. Like, the performance spoke for itself. I'm defeated. I think all the fans here watching are defeated. It's just how much of this can you take? It's just something needs to give, and I wish I could be here telling you what the answers are, but I don't know what the answers are. But I think first and foremost, you got to show a little bit more grit, desire and determination than we did to start that game, and we put ourselves in a hole. And and I don't want people to kind of start loading about the fact we huffed and puffed a bit more in the second half, because if you looked at the chances they created, it could have been 5-6-0.
Yeah, easily.
And the way Tottenham play and the nature of their formation and their system, they always give opportunities. And when you put in possibly the worst performance that I've ever seen from a United team in the first half, it's not necessarily that difficult to play better than that in the second half. Before people say we played better in the second half, put some perspective, put some context in it, and think going from shit to slightly less shit is still shit. Simple as.
Joe?
Yeah. I quoted about that the whole game, but from 2 minutes in, we didn't enjoy it, did we? We spent an hour building up to it, and then 2 minutes in, we realised what a tough game we're about to have, and Tottenham just seemed to just want it more. I'm just really slightly concerned about what games like this have an effect on our new signings, our younger talent. You know, the likes of Mainu, Garnacho. You know what a game like this can do when it comes to new signings, De Ligt, Mazraoui, Xerxes. How much this can affect them going forward. I just don't know what happens now. Ineos have talked the talk about being, you know, a company that want to bring greatness back to the club. Well, a game like this doesn't scream that. So what are you going to do? And
Certainly
we'll see what they're going to do.
Certainly got a big test on their hands now, aren't they, Ineos?
Yeah.
Which route do they go down?
I feel like the tide changed today for a lot of people.
Yeah, today was a big one in terms of another completely toothless, pathetic performance against the top side like we saw against Liverpool. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Ineos go with it from here. We're back in a couple of minutes for the full review, getting into exactly what went wrong there and what it means for Erik Ten Hag, because obviously anyone can see that things aren't looking good at all for the Man United manager. And you know what? You know, that's on him. We'll be back in a few minutes, like I said. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Ronnie. Sorry about the result, but, you know, what can we do, eh? Like I said, stick around where you are. You'll be automatically taken to the full post-match review where we'll completely dissect it and go through exactly what happened. We'll see in a bit.